do.
Happiness.
If I work with my business,
business. We just making up words. You know the song.
We gotta come up with a dance.
Happiness. If I broke
Not the Macarena.
Macarena.
Bye.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you guys.
What up? What up? Oh, now I can watch while we're doing it like I used to.
It's your favorite YouTube host.
¿Cómo estás?
Bonsoir. Assalamu alaikum. We gotta say the Senegalese one first.
Yes.
Yes.
We are here. Lego.
We are in the building. Let me look on the tablet and make sure.
We are your hosts of Repat No Cap RNC. What you? You're not in the show. Back up.
Yes,
I am Afro Millennial Mama and my lovely co-host
De La Sauce et moi.
Yes. If you're gonna be in here, you gotta be quiet and go to sleep. My kids.
Yes. And together we are Repat No Cap. We miss you guys.
Yes. We miss you guys every week.
Hey, what's up, poor righteous preacher?
Somebody in here already? No. Yes. Was that the first person on last time? Maybe not. But I remember poor righteous preachers from last time had some good participation points from last week.
You ain't too funny. I was just about to say participation points. Hey, atmosphere.
Last week's episode was hot.
Yes. It was really good. If y'all tuned in last week and y'all liked it, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a cap. Give us a cap. Look. Put the cap.
Yes.
We
put the
start
cap.
Doing that.
Put the cap. And hit the
thumbs
what's it called?
Yeah.
No, the super chat.
Oh, super chat. Yes. How can we forget?
We be forgetting that we got that. I'm gonna see if it works.
Super chat us, guys.
I'm a super chat us. Let me see if it go through. Hey.
We should do like you know how we have like the clapping when somebody says something deep or real. We should do the caps. Mm-hmm. Like when somebody says something real, we should do put the cap up.
Yes, cap. Yes. We got some fire emojis. Boom, boom, boom.
I know,
burn it up.
Atmosphere said we always lit. We really are.
Hey, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna try to super chat ourselves and see. I'm super chatting to the people. There you go. To the tribe.
Nice. Thank you, Afro Millennial Mama, for supporting.
Hey, because this is so fun. This is so fun. I enjoy it myself.
That's so funny. Yes, you guys, we always forget. For those of you who don't know, we do have super chat. We've been having it for like 2 months, and we just always forget to mention it.
You know that it's it's active
if you're
now.
a part of the tribe, if you love this show, if you want to support us, y'all know we want to travel and give you guys more interviews like the one coming up tomorrow.
Hey, I like that. That segue. I like it.
Perfect. So yes, please support us. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yes,
share with your friends.
Part of life. Huh?
I said share with your friends. Share
with your friends, your man, your cousins, everybody.
Atmosphere in the house. Regina in the house. Yeah, Regina says she loved the show. Marquita finally caught a line. Yes.
Thank you, Atmosphere. She said, congratulations, Dela, on your new business. We'll be sure to order some when I get there. Yes. Thank you so much.
We have something to talk about.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. It's hot, so y'all gonna see me turn this fan on and off so I can hear and still survive.
Exactly.
Okay.
It got cold for the last 2 days. Like at least at night, it's like a little cool.
Oh, really?
It when it rained,
Yeah.
that night it
You're right. I guess
rained all night.
the wind has been good at night. It's been good to us. You're
hmm
right, at night.
Yeah, it was like a little, I had to put a cover
Mm-hmm.
on because I had the fan on.
See, that's
Uh-huh.
good. It's been good rain too.
hmm It's rain slows you down. Rain is nice. I mean, it comes with limitations and stuff like that, but you don't
Yeah.
want to go out. But it slows you down. It makes you read a book and sit down and
Right.
chill.
It makes you read a book, right? No, for real.
Yeah,
It'll like
it's
all of
pretty
a sudden
cool.
it's like I should finish that book that I need to read. Like as soon as it start
hmm
pouring down
hmm
raining, it's like if you were procrastinating on it, get some rest. Yeah, I never want to like. And we've been like, this first week. Okay, so maybe we should get into that now, right?
Oh,
Repat
we
week.
got 12 likes and 12 people watching. Big up yourselves. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's
Let's
good.
get
That's good
into it.
introduction. So yes, my repat week was
Mhm.
pretty amazing and overwhelming at the same exact time.
Tell us more.
Yeah, so I pre-launched, tomorrow is the official launch, but we pre-launched our, okay, let me be careful with my words, our dairy-free, because it's not vegan, it's dairy-free cheese company called Cheese Nut. And yeah, we did it.
Yeah,
And
everybody say
I'm super
bravo.
excited about it. I've been working on it for months, just quietly. And I finally mastered the Krabby Patty sauce that I wanted, that I was looking for. And so, yeah, I decided to launch it in the same week that the kids also start their business, Zen Kids, and that I have
Mm.
to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get them out the house by 7:30.
Wow.
And and you know that is not my life.
Yes, you will never do that.
I don't understand what's going on. Like,
That's why you answer my text at 7 o'clock. Like,
girl,
I was like, what club you at?
right? Like, oh, she must just be getting home. No. Oh my God. That's crazy, right? I don't understand what I'm doing. Like, I've been like, this week was so interesting on so many levels. I also did
Mm.
a video shoot. And
Yes.
yes, I'm so excited. That right there was crazy because that's one of the things I want to do here. I want to like get myself all in the video world, just in on the whole continent. And I hadn't been
Yeah.
able to focus on that. So the night before they called me to do the video, I was like, man, like I'm doing so many things. This is like such a
Mm.
dream of mine. Like I
In your
haven't
life.
been being intentional enough with my thoughts on manifesting this. So I was like, I'm about to be more intentional. I'm like, somebody needs to call me for a video. Like, this is literally what I was saying the night before. I was like, somebody needs to call me. And I started thinking about people that I know here. I'm like, why haven't they done a video? I'm like, I'm really like, I'm just being intentional. I'm thinking about it intensively. And then
I
the next
love that.
day, two of the guys reached out to me and was like, hey, are you free? Because we need you for a video. I'm like, ah. So,
Oh, yay. That's so
yes.
cool.
It's so
You,
huge for me because I know that as a mother of 4 children and doing 12 other things, I'm probably not going to be able to do this to the level I want to do it on because I have so many other
mhm,
things that are
mhm.
kind of more important, like even my doula work and other stuff. So just to be able to do it, a little like, cause I don't
Yes,
have enough
yes.
thought and energy for it. But I'm like, hey, that thing, I still want to do that thing, like, so I'm really grateful
Yeah.
for that.
It's an interesting thing when you become a parent, and we talk about this sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you're more motivated, even though you have less time and less energy
Yeah.
to devote to certain things. And so it's like you really find your passions. You can. Some people stop living when they have kids, but you can
Yeah,
find your
that's true.
passion and you become very much intentional. You can't take the BS no more. You don't have time for certain things. You prioritize better, and then you're like, I've done the same thing. I think you and I are both Renaissance women in that we have multiple gifts, and we can't not do like we can't just do one thing. It's not gonna work. Like I have to. Yes, I could do it. If I decided to travel the world, I would just focus on that. But I want to be a farmer, and I need to read. Like I have to read books. I have to
It's
be
like,
smart.
and then it's stuff that you have to do for your life. So it's like,
yes, like I have to get my language game up. Like I just can't. Like I can't live a life of not doing things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, Anaya's right. Our thoughts and words are powerful, and you have to put things out there. Like I want to be a chef. And so I put that in my bio that I'm, I don't have to work in a hotel or nothing, but I want to be I want to be able to cook certain things and, be able to throw things together. Like, and so there's things I just have to do. Like, and so I can't not, and so you have to spread yourself not too thin, but you can't devote 100%, excuse me, to one thing and be great at it, but you want to be pretty good at the few things that you have to single out, and then dabble in some other things. Like I gotta get my salsa dancing in, I gotta get my exercise in, I gotta, so it can be overwhelming, but it's a rewarding thing. Move, yes. I can make a soup. Okay, thank you. Good night. It's almost 11 o'clock. Good night.
Bonne nuit.
Yes, but your week sounds great. Congratulations on cheese nut. As somebody who is allergic to dairy but still consumes dairy, because I haven't found the substitute that I have to get off of it. And I've weaned myself off of certain things. Like I don't do yogurts, I don't do none of those like processed like stuff. But cheese is like, I don't do milk. I do coconut milk, but cheese is one thing that and I try to stay away from dairy ice cream. I try to do the sorbets and stuff most of the time. But yeah, pizza, cheese is something that, especially being here, I'm limited in the familiar stuff that I know how to make. And so when I see cheese and it's like goat cheese and brie cheese and this, and I'm just like, if I need something, I can just throw a quesadilla together real quick. So I'm looking forward to getting my order. Like I'm excited. I have 2 recipes that I want to make with it. And I'm looking forward to having something that I can use as a snack, because we eat and they cook, and so you gotta wait for everybody and everything, and so I'll be snacking in between. Like, so, and because you gotta buy stuff fresh, you buy mangoes, they last for 2-3 days, and then you gotta go back and buy again. So it's like, I just want to have stuff on deck so I can be like, okay. Yeah, so I'm excited.
You have for the exact same reasons for us, because I started making the cheese for that reason. I'm like, we need more. It's already so hard, being plant-based here, but then but then just cheese, to have the substitute cheese, it gives you more options. So since I started making it a few months ago, I'm like, my life has been easier because the kids are making like grilled cheese sandwiches and quesadillas, and I can do other things while they just grab the cheese sauce and do it. And
potatoes, the potatoes I want to make, like that is for me, that's dinner. Like I can make a potato thing and just whip it up, because I don't eat the same as everybody else in the house, and I have to learn how to, in order to get them to do it, I have to learn how to make certain, I gotta get more recipes for to be able to share with the family too. So it's like, I think the plant-based thing, what makes it difficult is not that there's not plants here, but it's just that you have to purchase regularly. Like you need to have a fruit and vegetable stand right in front of your house to be able to purchase. So basically, like if you have a garden, then you straight. Like you can have bell peppers and stuff when you want, instead of going to the market, because whatever you put in the fridge, it's still not gonna last more than a week. Like it's gonna be looking like a little raisin, your bell peppers and stuff after 5 days if you don't use it. So you can't buy bulk. You can't you know, you have to make a lot of runs to the store.
Yeah, so. That's exactly, and which is the same thing when you transition in the States, you automatically sign up for going to the grocery store way more than you did before. But here it's just like, since everything really comes from like most, I mean, unless you went to the grocery. So yeah, you gotta have the right vegetable and fruit stand. You know, sometimes it's certain ones only in certain areas that might have certain things. So it ends up being like a lot, especially if you don't have a card.
Mm-hmm. So how can they contact you for the non-dairy cheese?
Yes, so you guys can contact me through our cheese nut is Cheese Nut Africa at on Instagram at Cheese Nut Africa. Mm-hmm. I'm banned from Facebook right now from
no
for my other business.
Right.
For making a doula post that we probably should talk about because it was really important. It has to do with our people, but they banned me for 30 days from any groups or anything for the post. So you can still do cheese. You can still find Cheese Nut. It's just Cheese Nut on Facebook, and then once I'm able to actually post in there, we'll be in there a lot. That'll probably be even more than Instagram. And then also, if you look at my last video about Cheese Nut, I have all the contacts there, the phone numbers that you can contact.
And put our email up just in case.
Yeah.
People miss that. They can always email us for anything that has to do with either one of us.
Yeah, and this right here has been, I don't know why. I didn't think that, I guess because we just found out about the camp like a week ago, and I just wasn't ready for the whole thing. And I don't know, like, I think the process, okay, let me check my words. It's not that I wasn't ready. I was ready. I did it. It's done. Okay, we're doing it. But it's been a lot with even like me getting ready for like the language thing, like people wanting orders in a different language. Today was a lot for me because I had to wait on someone that was supposed to help me, and all the things I'm waiting on is just because I don't speak the language. So today I really had like a moment. I'm like, okay, like seriously, like like this is it, Dayla. This is definitely like we was doing some. My homeboy was showing me how to take the orders in French, and it's just like I just wish I can just like plug myself into something and then just get the download of the Wolof, and because I just it's the time.
Is this via phone or like text, like a voice or text?
Well, this is just for whenever they call, but I guess I could tell people to do more texting than calling.
I would suggest that because even with me, and it just happened the other day, I was frustrated and it was a whole situation. I was telling Amadou to call because on the phone, another language is harder to understand. It's like when you go to a drive-through and you can't understand everything that they're saying, and because you can't see their mouth and the context and their facial expression, you really gotta guess. It's kind of like when people first started wearing face masks. You realize you didn't understand people as well as you thought. So the phone thing is also is difficult, and you have to think and understand and think and speak. So if they text you or even voice message you, you can listen to it over and over, and be like, "What's that word I caught again?" Like listen to it over again, and So that made that. I think the phone thing is very, very frustrating. I think even Amadou was in the States for 10 years, and I want to say the first 5, 6, he couldn't do stuff on the phone, like business stuff on the phone, like calling the phone company and stuff like that. I used to be like, I have to do it all the time. I need you to try.
I could just imagine.
But yes, and so but it's like the way people talk, they talk so fast, and if you don't know,
and it's like you have to understand, even though you're telling them, because I can say, je parle anglais, I speak English, or je pas compris, I don't understand, and they're still gonna say their same thing at the same tone with the same speed and the same. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just tell you? So it's like, so I don't be having no time for that. I'm just like, okay.
They're like, you just spoke French right now. So what's your problem?
Right? They're like, okay, like you called, so you need to get it together, like. Oh yeah.
They don't have no other go-to language to go to.
Right.
So
Right.
you know.
So I'm appreciating I'm appreciating the lessons in that, because I already know, like I said, that this year will be the year that I would focus on us doing the language. And it's like, it's almost like, I don't know if everybody else does this, like as moms, like it's easy for me to like feed the kids and forget to feed myself. Or when we're cleansing or like medicine, I'll give the medicine to them and not give it to myself. So even when I was talking to one of the sisters, she teaches the one that's over the camp, she teaches Wolof for free to Americans. She's from America, but her mom moved them here when they were really little, and she just feels like, I mean, she said some real shit to me. She was like, I don't feel like Black Americans should ever have to pay to learn an African, Caribbean, like Jamaica, like any of those languages. She was like, it was taken from us. So we should, if anything else, we should have incentives to be able to learn at least one African language. I'm like, that is so real. So
that's very deep. And I think that the most of the people that desire to learn an African language is based on emotional, like a connection that they want to have, and a like it would be like a spiritual accomplishment. I think in most cases, like if you're paying to learn a language, other languages, like for example, you could be paying to learn it for advancement in your career or business, expand, whatever. But an African language, or some people call certain dialects, whatever, tribal languages, people want to learn them because it connects to them, but it's not necessarily a language that you can use in a boardroom, like international level type stuff. So I really feel that, like, that's pretty deep. Like that could be a part of the reparations package. Like,
girl, like when she said it, because I was like, yes, please. Like she was like, yeah, I'll teach your kids Wolof, and I was like, yes, like just let me know how much. She was like, I wouldn't dare charge you. She's like, I don't charge Black people from America to learn Wolof. She's like, I'll teach you for free. I'm like,
wow.
Look,
wow.
Atmosphere said, who is this angel that teaches Wolof? I need her in my life, right? She is amazing. Wow. Yes. So like I noticed that when I was talking to her about it, even though I had mentioned that we need to learn, when we like throughout our days of spending time with each other and me mentioning the language, I'm talking more like my kids need to learn. I'm like, all I care about is my kids, like my kids need to learn. And then I'm like, why do I keep putting emphasis on them when it's me too? Like, but I'm like, I don't have time. I gotta do this. I gotta worry about that.
You want them. You want to set them up for the future, and you want to. And sometimes we feel like we're a lost cause. Like it's too late to change my trajectory. But for them, like I want to set them up. Like Yassine goes to the market with the housekeeper. She goes she goes around with our Airbnb guests and stuff, and she's cooking in the kitchen with the housekeepers. I'm not cooking in the kitchen with the housekeepers. I'm like, I mean, it's too late for me to learn Chebuji. I mean, it's not, but like I feel like she can learn, and then
unconsciously you feel that, even though you know that's not the truth, but you're just like,
right.
I gotta do other stuff.
I want to set her up good.
Make sure she does it.
Yes, she gonna speak well of her. She gonna do this, and maybe I'll pick up a little bit.
So I'm like, I have to check myself, because I'm like, no, like we all need to learn it. They definitely do, and they will. But it's like, I mean, that's my main motivation is how much it's stopping me from business, And it's funny because I'll tell the kids all day, I'm like, I'm literally breaking this down on a psychological level, how the truth is that when you move, and I chose to move to a foreign country, I'm happy to be at a foreign country. I do not want to live somewhere where they're speaking English. So that's not what I'm saying here. I'm living through the frustrations of it, and we're going to get through it. I don't want to be in an English place. I want to be far away from any American, the least I can get of that is better for me. So, but I'm always telling the kids, I'm like, the truth is that if you are in a foreign country and you're not speaking the language, even for somebody like me, like I'm living my life here. I have lots of friends. I'm going places and all that, but you're not really like living in that place. Like for real, there's so much that you're missing because you don't really know what's going on. So that's just the truth, like what's going on, but you don't know what's going on. So yeah, I just had to.
Yeah, I only hear about stuff going on because the family be here and they be talking like, "Ooh, you heard what happened?" I'll be like, "What? What y'all? What? Who got?"
Right.
Like and then I find out like, oh, somebody might have like a political thing or whatever.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't know. I'd just be in the dark, like But I think oh well, is that your whole week?
Yeah, that's my week.
Because what you just said actually segues into something that happened today. So my week has been busy. A good busy. We working.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
But a lot of unexpected things. And we had a guest in the Airbnb. We have one now and we had another one and we had two at the same time. Like we had a what do you call it? Double booking.
Oh, cool. Wait, is that
That
good?
Well, it was good because it worked out.
Okay.
What happened? Someone wanted to book. It was already booked. The person who booked it missed their flight, so the other person I let them know. So they came. The person who missed their flight came 2 days after and didn't have nowhere to go. And I said, "Well, just come because the other person gonna check out, and we could just do it like that." And the other person was like, "I want to stay extra days." So I was like, and so I'm like, okay. So then, I was like, and then it's not like the whole house is empty, which we've had people stay here before that we didn't know that well or whatever. They stay downstairs in the guest room. Usually not a problem. My husband's here. I feel, I'm cool. But, my sister-in-law is here. She's on summer break from work. Her baby, my mother-in-law's here. They've been staying, for a little while visiting. And so I'm like, dang, we don't got that many rooms, but it all worked out. We moved some people around. And so and it actually worked out for the best because the two people got to talk. One person was going to Gambia and just stopped by, but she ended up stopping by for like 4 days and is having a very emotional and very like, yes. So what you said about being flustered happened to her today. She doesn't know anyone here, so I sent her with Yasin. Yasin got her first little tour guide gig. She got to get paid. She got a little ice cream cone tip, So she was like a little translator, and she told the taxi where we live when they was coming back. And I was like, yes, my little 6-year-old be grinding.
Yes, doing it.
So she's in the family business now officially. She's the one
Right.
who like she go up there like, do you need anything? My mom said if you need a towel, I can, or you need to go to the store, I can take you, like little things like that.
Yes.
So it's
That is
cool.
so
But the lady,
good.
so today she got flustered and was crying at the market because she didn't, this whole time, she's been here maybe 2-3 days. This whole time she didn't feel like a foreigner here. She just feels, you know, but first time in Africa, first time really traveling alone. I think she's a widow recently, like only 1 year. She was married through 30 years, and so this is like a new part of her. Yeah,
Wow.
and so she went with the taxi guy. They were using the app to translate, and I think because she felt like she was at home. It wasn't until the language barrier happened that she realized she's not from here, and that made her sad. And so while they talking over the prices and stuff, she's crying. The taxi guy thinks something's wrong, like about the price or whatever, and she's just having a. And so when she came home, we debriefed about it, And I was like, this is a part of it, She's like, I feel like I'm from here. They don't see me as from here. And I'm like, it's just like if you was adopted out as a baby and you met your mom when you're 45 years old. Like, you got to start from scratch, and that's a part of the journey. But it does happen. And those moments still happen to me. Just the other day, I'm looking at all the stuff, the rain damage. It's not damage, but like the leaking, where you can see water come through the roof, which I guess is really common. The paint that's coming off my walls. I have a stain in my clothes. I don't know how to find a dry cleaning. Like, stuff is just harder to do when it's a different way of doing things and it's a different language, different words. You got to look it up all the time. Google Translate, And so I literally wrote in my journal. This is between me and my journal, but I'm telling you, I wrote in my journal, I hate Wolof and Wolof hates me because this is not working out. Like, I just wanted to get it out because it's not the same as French as far as the opportunities that you have to learn it. It's very underground inside. You gotta be in there. And how you gonna be in there with people that you don't have as much in common with? Because the people that speak French went to school. I went to school. The people that speak French watch movies. They probably watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and the same stuff and listen to Pac and whatever. But like, is that me or you? But the people that speak Wolof more, you may have less in common with because the lifestyle is different, because the exposure is different. Let me see. There. I guess she should be back. Okay. You hear me?
Oh, baby.
Something going on, but I'll keep talking. So it's those moments that you have, like the time that I cried when the cop pulled me over, but it wasn't because the cop pulled me over. It was just because I didn't know where I was. My phone was out of credit. It was just like a lot going on, and it's not easy. You depend on people, but then at the same time, you don't want to depend on people because that means you can't do it by yourself, and that makes you feel some type of way, like, I can't do for myself. If my husband wasn't here, I couldn't do this. If my sister-in-law wasn't here, I couldn't do this. And that's a hard thing to swallow.
It is
on a
so
regular.
Fucking hard.
It's frustrating, yo.
Yes, it's so hard. Like, I was telling my homeboy today, because he didn't, people got their own lives. So it's really funny how Africa will do this. It's so funny because it's like, and I can only speak to, specifically about Senegal with the Taranga, and how easy things can also be, because things can also be really easy. Getting help is really easy. Even for me to do this business and to like get my jars and the things I need, the packaging and stuff, it's like ridiculous how you can just walk up to a place and just be like, this is what I want, and then it's just there. And that can really happen. But at the same time, and especially when we're talking about a foreign country, it's like, like, people, the help that you get, they also have their own lives. So like, sometimes people are doing other things. Like, one of my friends, the one that was supposed to help me, to deliver your cheese today, he was supposed to take me to the spot, and then I have to order more cashews and do like 2 or 3 other things that I have to do through him. But these last 2 days, he been living his life. So he didn't go to bed till like 6 a.m. He didn't wake up till like 3. So like, my whole day was off because I'm blowing up his phone waiting on him. And I'm just like I told, when we finally talked, I was like, look, something's got to happen, because I cannot have it where I'm waiting on somebody. Like, you got to live your life, and what I need, I should be able to call and just get. And I was like, I was telling him, I was like, you know what? This is really hard. Like, not everybody is going to be able to do this. Like, this takes a lot of mental strength. Like, it really does. You have to be really, really strong. And sometimes I kind of forget that I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. This is obviously, we've been here this long. So I was kind of like, damn, like, I really been doing this. This shit is hard. Like, sometimes you don't realize it. And you have to just, you have certain moments.
That's exactly what I told the guest. And, she was getting a little misty when we were talking. And I was like, look, what you did today, I've been coming here since 2009. I didn't go to the market with people and try to talk to somebody who only speaks French and Wolof, and you trying to figure it out. You know, you're not like a tech. She's not a tech savvy person who know how to do all the stuff. So it's like very new. That's the stuff her husband would do for her. So like she's learning that stuff at the same time. So it's not like, she's 20 something. She can just get on the phone, Google, like So, she didn't even know like the SIM card situation and all this other stuff. She was planning to come and move to Africa with her husband. So he was doing all the planning and and she was just like, yes. And so now she's doing it, to honor him and what they had planned to do. But this is all new territory. So I'm like, you took a big leap today and you were in an uncomfortable situation. If it was easy, everybody would do it and it wouldn't be as significant.
Exactly.
But
it's one of them things like you're choosing the challenge, but you just got to know you just got to know it's only up to your perspective and what you think if the challenge is worth it. I ran into a girl, she's a subscriber. She had recognized me from here, and she was at the camp. And what you said about the girl breaking down, it just kind of broke my heart a little bit, because that's what me and the sister was talking about. Her father is Senegalese, and he had lived in the States for like 30 years, and he's back here now. And so we were talking about, like, she was just like, how do you do this? Like, without knowing the language, like, how do you not feel, stupid every day? Like, how do you just not, go through so many frustrations? And I was like, I do have frustrations sometimes, but I made a decision before I came here. I literally remember talking to the kids about, like, the thing is just like, what can you do? Like, we come from a place where we don't have family members, and ourselves are not raised with different languages. So if you're going to make the decision to detach, to leave the domestic violence relationship that we are born into in America, then this is what you, as a Black American, that's what you got to get ready for. And you got to say F it, which I don't even like censoring myself like that, but you gotta say, you have to just say, forget it. You have to just do it. And so you are gonna have times like this. And it was funny because she's like, can you imagine how I feel? She's like, my father is Senegalese. And she was like, I don't know nothing. So she was like, I just be feeling so like so low and so sad. And it just broke my heart, because I'm just like, dang, like that's so many of us. That's a natural feeling for a Black American. Whenever we come here, it's messed up. Like they really did a number on us. That's why that girl, her name is Mamjada. That's why Mamjada, people like her that came here really young and got both sides and that are doing that kind of work are really important people for us.
I think that whatever we're going through is very minuscule in comparison to what people had to go through for us to make the journey over there.
For sure.
And so, we just have to put things into perspective. Emotional stress is stress, but at the same time, we have freedom. And so there's a price to pay, and there's work to be done. It can be done. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's just something that you'll have to cope with, write in your journal, listen to music. These are why we have the Juneteenth parties. These are why we have little get together. You let it out, and you move
even
on.
The show.
Exactly. Somebody said something interesting. Marquita was talking about it makes her nervous about coming, even though I want to be there. I just know I'll be alone and doing a lot of things. You will not be alone. It's just that who you will be with, you'll have difficulty communicating with them. So people will help you regardless. People will help you everywhere. You're not alone, because like I was getting frustrated today because my the curtains in my living room were dusty and I had to take them down, but they're way high. My living room ceiling is like crazy, so I can't reach it even with the ladder. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna to take them down, but it's been a month. Like it was supposed to be done before my cousin was here, and so I feel bad excuse me, asking for stuff over and over. Can you help me with this? Can you help me? I don't like that feeling, because then if the person is stressed, or they're like, oh, give me, I got this other stuff to do. And it's just like, you got to do everything. And I know it feels burdensome, because I was in that position when he moved to the States, and it's a lot on one person. I just wish I could do more, even though I'm learning more, I'm driving, and it's always improvement. You don't see that. You only see, if it was me, I know what company to call to clean my curtains. I know what company to go to for the dry cleaning. I know what company to do my hair. Like, I'm doing my hair, because I haven't found exactly what I had back home for my hair in the area. And so it's like, everything is just learning. Like, the reason I had to cut my hair, because the lady dyed my hair, and there was probably some miscommunication, not language wise, but culturally. She didn't care to tell me that bleach break off your hair. So, and then so there's cultural things that I don't understand. I'm frustrated. I love the housekeepers that I have. They're really cool. They're great with my kid, and they work hard, and they're here every day and everything. But when they use my yellow mustard and don't ask me, and I know it's not their fault, because people was just here. It was cousins all up and through today that I didn't even know was coming. And the lady that's here, she's a vegetarian, and she don't eat rice and stuff like that. Like, she don't eat no dairy, no nothing. Just like quinoa and some other stuff. And so she got bananas for breakfast. The kids, her little cousins was here, and I want a banana. I want a banana. Sugar banana. Sugar banana. And I'm like, and the parents had just stepped outside. I'm like, I got all these kids in my house with the glass railings and stuff, and I just be like, oh, I love that I don't have to watch my kid all the time. That I could, let the reins go. Then I don't like when other people don't have to watch their kids, because their kids be doing stuff. So it's like I love the freedom, and I love that people share, but I don't love when they share the stuff. Like, they choose what I'm gonna share by taking it. And it's like, but it's a part of the culture. I can't get buck on the whole family. Like, what do I look like? But it's like, so I have to kind of culturally communicate stuff. So my sister-in-law is great. I tell her, like, look, how am I gonna tell them not to use my apple cider vinegar that come from the States, because it's gone.
Right. And don't use the brags. Hold on now.
The brags. Thank you. They don't understand. No. And so they look at me and say, yeah. And then they go ahead and use my yellow mustard. Like, I could just get yellow mustard from the corner store. They don't have and it's different. Like, but they used to being able to use whatever's out. And it's like, I got frustrated this weekend. I was just like, oh man, like, I have to hide everything that I own, like everything that is for me. Like, do I really have to put my name on stuff in my own house? And so that was a moment where I was just like, oh,
this is crazy.
This is not working. But I'm not giving up. Like, what I'm gonna do? Go back to America because of some mustard and some vinegar? Like, come on. So I gotta suck it up. And my sister-in-law is like, I'll talk to them. I'm like, can you explain it to them in a way that don't sound weird, that they can understand? Because whatever I'm saying, yes, the brags. Oh, Donna Haig, man, it's not.
No,
it's not
for real though, that ain't no joke.
A number of Africans say we behaving like whites. That's where we come from. We come from white land. Like, who else we gonna behave? That's how we learn how to behave. From them.
Right, look. Nelly said we need a care package. Yes, all care packages. Okay, we need a PO boxes so we can get some care packages.
Please. Oh, I got this book. I had talked about this book on a live, and 2 people brought me the same book. I didn't even ask. Like,
really?
So I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm specific when I say the stuff that I like. Because one of them was like, oh, I said, oh, I didn't mean to ask you to bring that. She was like, no, you didn't ask. I just heard you say, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, but yes, Bragg's vinegar and yellow mustard.
Look, I can make a list if y'all want to. I'll make a post and I need some more nutritional yeast for this cheese, all of that. No, but yeah, man, it is really a thing. And I think that like I had told the girl, she was just like, because the girl was like, the sister was like, this is, she's like, this conversation is so good for me because I come here 3-4 times a year, like spending all that money when I can just move. And my father lives here. And she was like, you did this with children, you going through whatever it is that you got to go through to get, just to make it happen. And she was like, what am I waiting on? And I was like, yeah, it's really a fear thing for us. It's what we're talking about. But she was, she asked me like, well, what is it? Like, what is it that broke it for you? And I was just like, basically, I'm willing to risk our life. Yes, I was willing to risk our lives to get like that's the level that you gotta be on. When you're gonna come out here by yourself, you gotta be like, I'm willing to take all the risks. It doesn't mean that something is gonna happen, something bad. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be alone or anything like that. It just means that you're accepting that challenges of whatever you can't even fathom. You have no clue, what the challenges are going to be. And you just have to accept that it is going to happen and it is what it is. I'd rather be going through these challenges than in America trying to figure out, like I was for all those years, how I'm going to leave,
I think I just posted. Yeah, I saw a quote that I shared. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery.
Wow, that gave me chills. That's some real stuff right there.
Yeah.
We need to put that on a shirt. Like, that need to be on the back of the Repat No Cap shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
We live in dangerously. And it's like, yeah, it's
hold
it's one
on,
of those.
wait a minute, Nelly. Hold on. You see this one?
Yeah, she's tripping. Yes, us poor Americans.
Yes.
Like mustard
Look,
make
super chat,
everything
y'all.
taste
Super
familiar.
chat.
Yes, there you go. Cause we can get it from the American store.
Right.
We just need a little change,
Right.
That's what people don't understand. This stuff costs more. And for them, they probably thinking, well, if you got enough to buy it, then you got enough to buy more and share. Like, no.
Right.
Same for you.
Right.
So I'm
the
gonna
American
start
store.
writing my name on my stuff. And and I'm gonna write my name on it, and then I'm gonna show them when I buy it, this is for me. Because I shared that mustard one time.
And they gonna say, okay. Oh,
yes.
Okay, stop on. And they's gonna use that, and you gonna turn around, they gonna be pouring the dang mustard on the thing.
I finally figured out how to save my good butter, which I don't eat butter regularly, but when I need to cook something and it requires butter, I have. So with the good butter, what I do, I had a Philadelphia cheese cream cheese thing. I saved it, cleaned it out, and then I put the butter in there, so it looked like cream cheese.
Oh my goodness!
And it's not just the housekeepers, because people come over. There's a taxi guy.
Oh wait, so that's like a disguise? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Because there's other people, so like when people come, we're like, make yourself at home. So not the guests, because the guests are mostly from America, so they know how we do. Everybody got their own stuff, but other people, cousins and cousin, neighbor, taxi driver, whoever we make feel like family, they come, and Amadou's like, here, and he'll just get it out and give. Like, they're so teranga, but like, don't be teranga with my stuff. Yeah. I'm such a hypocrite.
Right. You know what? It's actually, it's like, let me see. Is it this comment? Is it this? Yeah. So it's an American thing. Like, first of all, America is a capitalist, every man for himself thing. So there's a little bit of that I love about us, and I agree, because boundaries are a thing that needs to, like that's an important thing. But it's like, because we come from a place where it's like every man for himself. This is mine. This is yours. I was on the phone with one of my friends the other day, and she was talking about how she doesn't make her children share stuff. Like how most parents might say, y'all are, siblings, you need to share. She's like, no. She's like, I'm not doing that. Like, and it was normal for me to hear that from American, because that's how we be, you know. But you can't come to Africa like that. If you want to live in Africa and not be alone, you absolutely have to drop that, because we have to share here, okay? And it's just the thing.
It's not bad. Tanika Lee, what's up, Tanika Lee?
Yes. What's up, sis?
Tanika Lee, I believe is the person that I told you about before with the oils that was using them.
Oh yeah, I do remember her. Yes.
She had a stroke recently, and just she's been using.
That's so dope.
She's recovering.
That it helped her. Yeah.
Somebody else put something about like it's not bad to have boundaries, and it's not okay. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to be like white people intentionally, but we were segregated from them for a long time, and then we ended up desegregating, and they run stuff over there. So that's how we learn everything that we need to know. Like, we don't have to try. Like, it just is the culture. Like, that's mainstream. So we don't have to try. It's in us, like from a long time ago. So looking presentable, what that means, certain colors you wear. Like, if you look at the vice president and presidents of the US, they all have the same color suit on. Like, it's like there's things that are just what they are. So boundaries and stuff and space, those are different in different cultures. In Asian cultures, a lot of places like Japan and stuff, they be all up on each other. I'll be mad, like, get up off me. But my homeboys, like, that's how they do. Like, there's no.
That's how I be in the grocery store. I'm like, what happened to the 6 feet thing?
Like, yes. In Panama, I remember sitting on the bus. Those school buses. There was a public bus that's like an old school bus that they recycle and painted it all, put lights in and stuff. We sat on it. I'm sitting. It's two to a seat. How I figured. A lady come and scoot over and like three. So it's three of us on one side, but it was other places to sit. And I was just like, why don't you sit in the free places first, and then if more people come on, we can squeeze in. Like, why are we squeezing so prematurely? But it's just different in different places. So it's not a negative thing where you live, but here it could be considered a negative thing, because people who act like that are from Senegal and have all these weird or different boundaries and like don't share, they call them Tupac. Like, you acting Tupac today. Like, that's what because that's just where that culture is more predominant. And that's where we come from. We can't act like we don't come from where we come from. That's just that's just the reality.
Yeah, and even whenever I say like you can't come here with with that, I have to remind myself of that all the time, because of what I'm saying. Like, what we're talking about. We come from America, so we definitely are. We barely say hi to each other. We don't really even speak to our neighbors and stuff. So to be all up on each other, like, that is not a natural thing. And I wish it wasn't a thing all the time, but it's, it is what it is. I can't change the culture, but I definitely be in the grocery store like, bruh, are we together? And I just can't say nothing. I just have to play it off. I just still be like, okay, like, it's okay. Like, but it's a thing.
Somebody was asking about the super chat. It should be in the right bottom corner. It's a $, I believe. At least that's where it was on mine. So maybe it might not be set up if you're trying to do it. But yeah, so I think that
commercial.
I was like, what?
Commercial break, guys.
So I think that we can talk about our subject now. Or I don't know if there's any comments that you want to look at, or we can do that later.
Yeah. We can definitely go through the comments.
Tanika, I just want to say this right quick. So this is me. I just said this 1 hour ago. I said, I love the fact that people share here. I just don't love when they decide what I share and I don't have no say in it. And that's the thing. It's different ways of sharing. So you saying I have to be in control of what you were sharing, what you want, that's not gonna happen all the time over here. Man. So if you get upset and react, you are it'd be very strange. You're acting very bizarre based on according to what people are used to seeing. People here will take your clothes, try it on, and wear it like somewhere and give it back to you whenever. Because people aren't expecting you to be so attached to material things. I've learned how not to be so attached to material things, but it's not like 100%, especially when it's something that comes from the States that I can't get access to. Like, I'm not playing with that stuff. Right. And people don't understand. If they've never been on an airplane before, they don't know how hard it is to get that stuff. They think the jet payers are coming all the time. They're like, well, you just get another, like, it's just like set pocket off. What's the big deal? Yeah, she said, you just have to call me a tubob. We are considered tubob. That's a foreigner. That's what we are. We're foreign people with westernized cultural habits. It's no shame in it. Like, I think people feel like, just like the lady, was saying, she felt like she's from here, but the people don't see her as from here. I said, they can't see you as from here. You don't talk like them. You don't walk like them. You don't dress like them. They're not looking at your skin color. Skin color is nothing. Everybody's black. So,
right. But, you know what? One of my homeboys called me a tubob when we were talking about one of my old cleaners that had called me a tubob and how he didn't tell me until after she wasn't my cleaner anymore. And we had brought up, and I was like, why you didn't tell me? He was like, because I know you would have got mad. And I was like, yeah, because I ain't no damn tubob. And while I was talking, I was in my kitchen rinsing my vegetables and lime oil and my essential oils. I was rinsing off the vegetables in my lime oil. And he was like, really? He was like, you rinsing off your vegetables with natural essential oils. You not know too about, like, I was like, you know what?
Look at this right here.
Right.
This is a tubob contraption.
Right.
Okay. I have no shame in my essential oil game. Like,
not a tubob contractor. That's too funny. Like, no, for real. That's
this here
real.
is my Beats little Bluetooth speaker. Now, people have these things here, but I have 4 different ones.
Right.
For different
we're a little extreme with it. We definitely got like 6 speakers in the house.
Yes, I have a big one. I have this nice one that's mine. I have one that I can take to the beach that can get dirty. Like, there's levels
right. That's true. That's so true.
I have like 6 pairs of prescription glasses. I have the blue, the brown, the clear, the red. Like, I'm not ashamed. Right, we're different, and it's okay. It's okay.
I just don't like because I call white people tubob, and then white people be thinking that they light skinned. So I be like, you better not call me no tubob. I be getting real offended. But if we're going by the true definition, which is not, because sometimes, especially the elders, with my locks, they don't really say that. But some of the elders do be like, yeah, we're white. And I have to explain to them, I am fucking black, man. Like, so.
But they think that they think that you are part white, because that's the people, like all the Senegalese that's half Italian and half Cote d'Ivoire and half whatever, like that's where they skin color come from.
Some of them, not the full out.
Not all, not all. But, but like the first people that look like you that they would probably see, then they just call everybody else that. It's like when you see a Native American in the States and you call them Mexican. Like, most of the people that you see that look like that, or your experience has always been that. So you're like, pretty much that's probably what it is, most likely, even though you could be wrong. That's what your brain is gonna do. But
because even in the States, they think if you light skin, that means you mix with something. Like, people in the States from America, we don't even realize that not all light skinned people got to be Cuban and black or Mexican,
Right. But so, it's not just about being light skinned, because I know people that are like you and they from here, but the way they suck their teeth is different. The way they don't have tattoos in the same way you got tattoos. They will have the henna tattoos with the red fingernail, the orange on the henna on their fingernails. Like I could make you into a Senegalese if I really wanted to. Like, you have to take this thing off your neck, and you can't be wearing your belly chains where people can see it. And then we're gonna put some gold on you, and then then you'll be a little.
But you know what? I feel like Americans, we even have like we walk different. Like you can tell an American, even when I have on all my African clothes. Thank you.
Highlight that.
Nasty.
Oh yeah. You gotta click on it to highlight it.
We need a sound. For that. For all the super chats. But yeah, because I be trying to blend in sometimes, and people be like, we can tell because the way you walk, like you don't walk like a Senegalese person, or like African.
You don't drag your feet like the slide.
Right.
You gotta slide. Right. Not pick your feet up. It's a whole bunch of stuff. We put you in one of them dresses. Get you some gold earrings and some gold necklaces.
The big gold earrings.
Why she say she can't live here? Cause what?
Who said that?
What? Unapologetic. She said something. That's why I can't live here. Senegal's off the list. Why Senegal off the list though? Which part she talking about? Tanika been using essential oil and diffusers for 12 years. Nobody, you don't gotta change, girl. Use them oils. That's why I said be proud. Be proud. We come from somewhere else. It's no problem.
Because the Senegalese people love these essential oils. They order stuff all the time. I be healing people's toothaches and backaches and all kind of stuff.
Because that's what they used to use, and I think it's like a cyclical thing. So like people in Dakar are more, they're city people, so they into like new whatever's newer, or people going back to the organic stuff, because that's how my sister. Yeah, people are open and stuff. Just
yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah, you don't have to change. Moving to a place doesn't mean you have to change, guys.
No.
You remember Syra one time she commented on the Juneteenth video, and it was like she was saying how she was getting emotional because we was being ourselves, and she didn't know that when she used to live here that she could do that. She was just suppressing half of who she really is, Nah, man, don't change who you are. I was just outside at the pool. My mother-in-law, like my cousin-in-law and another cousin-in-law and my sister-in-law was sitting. They didn't get in the pool. They was sitting on the outside of the pool talking about they roll-off stuff they was talking about. And all the little babies was in the pool with the other American lady that's here and me. And Tupac was on my Bluetooth speaker, and they was just kicking it right there. And the cousin, he turned it up. He was like, "Hey, that's Pop." He turned it up, and so we was in the pool, and they was doing a little chopping it up thing.
Yeah.
They don't be getting in the pool that much, but like I was just like in a moment, like they really rock it with Tupac, like hanging out with me at the pool, like doing what I like to do, but in their own way, whatever. But spending time with us, like it was.
Yes,
it was nice.
You'll find that even them doing that on their own. There's these brothers that are over here on my corner, and every Saturday night they'll come out with their chairs and they have a speaker, and they be playing Belle Biv DeVoe, like all the old school cuts. Like you just think you back in America. Like I just be like, what? It's so cool to witness. Oh, I want to say to Unapologetic Nubian, I think that because for the clothes thing, like we talked about that a little bit. I think the last show I mentioned how one of the video shoots I did, somebody had put on my flip-flops and we were looking for them. So like, I think in those situations, like when you got people around you all the time, that can happen more. And for Aisha, she has in-laws that are Senegalese. So she experiences something like them putting on the clothes. Like that's something like I've never experienced that. I wouldn't experience that unless I just have like,
that don't happen. Yeah, that don't happen to me. That happened to my husband. But sometimes it be clothes that I bought, and I'd be like, "Why you just let them? Why? Like, But yeah, I don't like that. No, I mean everybody has their limits and everybody has their boundaries, and you just got to figure out which ones are worth fighting for, which ones you might bend or which ones you might let go, and that might over time they might fade out and you don't even realize that you changed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, if nobody up in your house, you don't have to worry about it. I'm on a whole nother level with this. Like I can't get away from it. I can't escape.
Right. Right. You can't escape it. It's so different.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, so we're at our end. Should we even?
We are?
Yes.
I want to go. I want to do it.
Okay. I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. I mean, we could, yeah, let's do it. I got time. Yeah. I got energy.
Okay.
So the topic discussion that we kind of locked in on today has to do with phone etiquette. And the reason is because Miss De La Soul and I are I don't want to say we're in demand or popular, but sometimes people want to talk to us, and we've both been trying to manage, deal with the different ways that people communicate here in Senegal and in the States, and with the new ways that different generations communicate. And so we've been talking about phone etiquette a lot, because there are times where people call that we're like, why are they calling? Or they'll message and it'll be like 20 minutes. Like, so we want to know, and you guys can participate. What is the word? The status quo? Like, what is supposed to be the norm? We don't know what the culture is because the culture is always changing. But
yeah, or you can say we're not with the phone, the 21st century or 2022. Yeah. I don't know, the last 5 years. Like the phone culture is completely whack. Like
yeah.
And what we mean by that. Go ahead, sis. My bad.
No. Yeah, I don't like it. Go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't like the phone.
Yes.
The phone is for other things.
Just to elaborate, what you're saying is like we're talking about like the interaction of like whenever you're reaching out to somebody that you might not really know, like somebody that has a platform, somebody that you want a service from or something, and just the way I feel like it's more of an American thing whenever we hit people up and be like, what's your price for this? Or can I get something?
Business, like, yeah. When it's business, there's business phone etiquette, there's social phone etiquette, there's international phone etiquette, like as far as like if you're in another country and I'm in this country, you don't call me at certain times, and just like, you know what I mean? Like, but and then there's the way people communicate here, which I don't like at all. Like the way people just blow you. Like if I don't know what you want, I don't want to talk to you. Like I don't.
Oh my God! Talk about adapting. I am still adapting to that. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why would you call me and hang up and call me and hang up and call me?
Like, that beeping, yes, they've been doing that for a long time with the credit. Are they still charging by the minutes? No, they don't. Yeah, you buy minutes in advance. They don't charge you, but you fill up your phone in advance with what you want. Yeah. But yeah, I like WhatsApp is the best.
It's very natural. Ever. And I guess maybe that's why, like, when an African is, when I'm dealing with that from someone that's like from Senegal, I have more understanding, because I know for them that's not really a thing. Like for us, that's right. Like banging on our door without saying that you was coming over, like, you know. Yes. Or that's like another thing is, even when you don't know someone, like you just know them through social media and you call them, like you video call them or you call them through social media, it is the craziest, crappiest thing. Like, it's so draining and weird. Like,
ooh, social media call. I just gotta, okay, so yeah, even that. So people have called from social media, like, and they don't even know you. Like, what makes you think that I want to talk to you? You want to talk to me, you gotta ask permission. Like, I don't have time. I got a kid. Like, I don't, I need all the rest I can get. I need to get working when I can. Oh, she said that when they calling back to back, that's when they beep you. They don't have no credit, so they just beep you so they don't use all their minutes, so you can call them back. Which I totally get. But usually when I get a they've been doing that for years since I've been coming here. But usually when people what is the word? Like when they what was I saying before that? I don't know. But it's like people here, they call and they expect you to just answer. I don't like that. Like when I'm gonna move to the States and I would be getting calls, like he's like, why aren't you answering? I was like, because I don't know that person. And he didn't get it. He was like, just answer. They want you. They want something. But
no, but you
people
can't just
here
want me and I just deliver. Like
right.
I'm
people
thinking
here,
right now. I'm doing something. Like
my mind, you just messed up my whole thought. Like people here, they don't call you for nothing. If they're using their credit, it's for something. So you usually know what it is if you know them. I just don't answer if it's a number that I don't know because they're gonna have the wrong number all the time. But one time somebody had the wrong number. They was asking for Aisha, and I was like, yes, but this is not the Aisha that you're talking about. And they just kept talking. I always give him the phone, like, talk to these people, tell them they got the wrong number. But if it's a number I know, I'll answer because I know they're not gonna. What I do like, they don't stay on the phone long. They save their minutes. So if they do call, they're not gonna just be chopping it up. Like, hey, what you doing with? Oh, I hate those calls. People just be like, what's up? Like, if you don't have nothing to say, why are you calling me? You don't have nothing to say. Like I got a husband and a kid. No, that's what I'm
saying. Like even, I mean, this happens here, but this doesn't even matter where a person is. Just those phone calls where somebody is calling you back to back and don't really want nothing. The thing that makes it so weird is like, because if I'm not answering, it's not like it's either two things happening. I can't answer for whatever reason, or I'm ignoring you. But either way, you're not supposed to keep on calling. Like even if I'm ignoring you, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like
I know everybody has a different phone like etiquette or reasons they use the phone. So like I went through phases when I was younger. I had all the time in the world. I could talk on the phone for hours with my friends and do other stuff at the same time. But I can't do that now. And so if you calling like, and I gotta protect my energy. I don't know what you want. You might ask me for something and put me in a corner and then I can't say no. Like I don't like that. That's I gotta screen the energy to my call.
Yes, that's right. And then there is okay, wait, dang it, because there's two things coming at me. I don't want to forget it. Okay. Okay, so there is calling like
video
when you
call.
don't really know, huh?
Video call. And you didn't ask me.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, like when you don't really know someone, like let's say y'all spoke via message, any message, email, text, whatever, months ago, and then if you don't really know them, and then you want something, and then you just call, like you don't say like, hey, it was me that talked, or can we talk sometime? Like just calling someone who you don't really talk to like often is weird, even if y'all cool. But if y'all don't ever talk and then you just call them, you might as well knock on their door. Like that's how I feel. It's the same thing because it's like, get me ready, like let me get ready, like
yes, you I will say you never call me for nothing. When you call, I answer because you don't be wasting the calls. Like you don't waste the time. Like it's something we gotta really talk about. But my homeboy, like, I love you, Brian, but like this is not working in our relationship, man. He's doing better and he's sending voice chats now. He doesn't like to, but
good.
It's just like,
okay, let's talk about voice chats too.
But there's nothing that he wants to say other than hi. And so like for me, hi is like, okay, but where's this going? Like
we could have voice messaged this. Like we could have texted this.
Yeah, so it's like then what you doing?
Right.
I'm talking to you now because I was interrupted with what I was doing.
Right. And
But
you know what? Okay, let us say this too. I think that the majority of us feel this way, but if you are an empath or if you are a sensitive being to other beings, then you most definitely feel this stronger. Like this is phone etiquette or phone culture empath edition, because we're really talking about other humans draining us. You know, we be draining each other with the way with our phone culture, you know, like
I
the
think
way we
because we have so much technology, right, that we can do more in a shorter time. We can email this and this and that, and then it's like we get more done. So like people can message you, for example, instead of like back in the day, maybe you get a couple text messages a day, 10, 15 years ago. But now you get all these voice messages. Like I can have 5 voice chats that I gotta listen to in one day. And for me, that's a lot because I don't have time to have conversations like that. Like, and then like for me, I prefer it because it gives me time to give you a response. I can still do what I'm doing. Like WhatsApp is the best. You leave the voice note because you get the voice, you get the inflection, you get the emotion. You can tell if I'm joking, but I'm not disturbing you. You're not disturbing me. Like we can have a conversation that lasts for a whole week, and it's just like, one message today, one message tomorrow, and then we finish the conversation. Like, we don't have to be available at the same time. But if you want me to be available at the same time you're available, you got to tell me what you want to talk about, because I don't know how long maybe it's me and I don't know how to cut people off. Like, sometimes I answer the phone and I'm like, can I call you back? Because I don't, like, that's how I answer. Can I call you back? Because I feel, and I used to answer phones for work, like in the field I was in. So the phone to me means work. It means somebody needs me, somebody wants me, and I get like kind of nervous, like what they want, and I'm trying to figure it out. And if you don't tell me, it's scary. Like if you don't text me and be like, hey, when you got a minute, I want to talk to you about some stuff going on. Then I know it's serious. You need like time, and I could be like, okay, I'll schedule you in for Wednesday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you just like, hey, I need to ask you something real quick. Sure, shoot, what up? Like if it's quick, then that's fine. But sometimes people be long. Even my cousin, like since she left Senegal, she's been like calling, to talk about a lot of stuff that she's been feeling.
She called me the other day and I wasn't free. So I sent her a voice message like, girl, my bad. Girl.
I've been trying to teach her how to use the voice because she didn't have WhatsApp before. So I've been trying to teach her how to use the voice message. I'm like, she wanted to talk to me about something from 3 days ago. And I'm like, she wasn't available and I wasn't available when we called each other back. And I'm just like, if you had left a voice message, we could have been talked about this.
We could have had the conversation already. Like,
I'll forget what it is by then. So.
Right. No, see, this is why you had me just cracking up a second ago, because me and you we have some of the deepest in-depth conversations throughout a whole week, and it be voice message. Like the other day, like I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I was showing Trey our voice messages, and Trey was like, he was like, that's ridiculous. And I was like, well, we want to interact with each other, but we don't have the time, and we don't want to, make each other feel obligated. So it's so convenient.
You making your cheese. I edit videos on my phone. So when my homeboy call me, I'm like, I'm editing. Like if it's something you can send me, I can listen, respond back, get back to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I'm maximizing my time. So if I'm reading, I don't want to stop, because if I stop, I'm not going to read after and you mess up the whole plan. Like I have a whole schedule. You know what I mean? So if you're going to interrupt it, it better be good. But
okay, can you say that again? Because my internet was cutting out. You said what?
Oh, okay. No, I said I have a whole schedule. I said if you're gonna interrupt my schedule, it better be good. Like, I have a whole program. Like I plan to read, I plan to get in the pool. Like all this is a schedule. If I don't stick to my schedule, let it be on me that I don't stick to my schedule. But if it's your fault,
don't let it be on you. Exactly.
I'm gonna be mad at you, And so part of this conversation came up because Dayla and I, for at least the past year, have been talking to people that are, asking questions, things like that. And we could talk to people for 3 hours, you know what I mean? Like, because they have so many questions, and maybe we're just not good empath edition. I like that. Maybe we're not good at cutting people off or anything, because I'm not good at it. There's people who talk a lot, and those are the people that stress me out the most because I can't stop them. Like, I can't, and so it's like, sometimes people don't get the signals, either nonverbal in person or on the phone. Like, you're trying to be like, okay, can you get to the, can you get to the what? And some people are just long-winded, and I don't want to rush people, but at the same time, I don't know how to manage, like, where it's like, okay, this is not the best time for me to have this discussion. If I knew it was going to be this discussion, I would have scheduled you in for a time where I didn't have nothing to do. Like, my friend Brian, he just want to shoot the breeze. He just be doing his Uber, doing his stuff, and just want to talk. And he video call me like every time. Like, what? Like, I'm in the shower. I'm in the bed with my spouse. Like, what are you trying to video call me for? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes people don't. It's like they don't think, what could she be doing? She could be I was at the grocery store.
Like, that's how I feel about the back-to-back call. And you know what? Even in dating, oh my God, hold on, cause I'm gonna get stressed out. I'm gonna get stressed out real quick. Hold on. First of all, it be stressing me out because because right now in my life, I don't want a relationship. I don't want a man that I have to, or I'm not even going to use the word have to. He could be a great man, but right now I need to focus on myself and my children. So even dating for me doesn't make sense because I'm like, when I'm sitting up late up with you, I could be doing some other things that I need to do to make me money, to get me to the next level where I'm trying to get. So when it comes to these men, like, they're not understanding that I'm not able to text you back. I'm not available. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. I'm not available. So it really can be like a stressful thing because people do not understand, like, they just what you just said, they don't think that you can really be that busy. Like, they don't think that, like, there's no way you can't call me back today and tomorrow. Yes, there's a way. Even if I'm not doing anything, like me thinking, I be thinking about stuff. That's a lot of my time. Like,
my mind, I can't be interrupted with my thoughts. It actually pisses me off, like, inside. Like, I'll be like, oh, like, dude, like, and I can't get it back,
Like, I'm healing through trauma. I'm over here, I'm trying to figure out this and that. I'm like, what you mean? Like, it's almost disrespectful. Like, you asking me for my time. What about my kids? What about me?
So
I'm like, it gotta be important.
Yeah. So sometimes, guys, behind the scenes, your beloved De La Soul and I have to talk each other off the cliff because, we don't want to, rub people the wrong way, offend anybody or anything like that. But we do have to release the stress that we feel. And it can be stress. It is stress. But not like it's intentionally caused, like, we know that. But, like, for example, prime example, how the young lady, the lady that's here, how she got here. I hadn't talked to her. I talked to her one time. And this was, I want to say, November. This was basically, 2021. And it was one conversation. I remember the conversation. However, I didn't remember the person's name, and I didn't remember, because the conversation was similar. I remember talking to a couple of people who their spouse had passed away, and I couldn't put I didn't see their face. I only talked on the phone. So I didn't know who they were, and there was no, usually when people call me, I look in the history, like I told you. I look in the history of the text or the email. I looked for an email. I didn't see an email from the lady. I looked for a text. I didn't see a text. So when they called, they didn't text me. They just called, and I was like, "What do they want?" And I have the name in my phone. If it wasn't saved in my phone, I wouldn't have answered. But I have the name in my phone, and I'm like, okay. I put something about land, but I'm like, I don't remember talking to this person. I looked, and there was only a call at one time phone call like that was in the history. So I'm like, this is 8 months later, like 9 months later. Who is this and what do they want?
Right.
So I think I ended up messaging them and like texting them like, I see your name, but I don't, can you remind me or can you let me know what I can do for you and kind of remind me who you are? But from the one conversation on her end, because she was watching the videos, we like, cool, but me, it was a long time ago, and in between then there's been other people, and so I don't remember. And so once I figured it out, like she wasn't really good at technology and texting and stuff like that. So after I understood that part, I was like, okay, so this is why she called, and it's just easier for people to just do that. But I would, if it were me, I would text first, remind them of who I am and what I want, and like, if this is a good time or whatever. Because you got to think what time it is here. Some people call not strange. Well, some people have messaged me at 12, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm like, they're like, and it could be, but so I just feel like it should be across the board, at least Americans, like that you give a forewarning. Hey, I'm a video call.
Us for sure.
Or call regular. You can call regular and then push the video after. Like maybe you want to be seen, you want to see me, or maybe you want to be seen, but I don't want you to see me. I have my phone. I have my phone in my pocket, and the homie called me on video call, and I had told him about the video call. I'm like, why you just be, he's like, I told you I was gonna call you when such and such and such. I said, yes, but you didn't text me first to tell me it was right now. Like this was
a
and
day
now,
before. Like if you video call me, like you in my space, like you in here with me, like
yes, like you said, it's like knocking on my door. It's like basically you coming into my bedroom right now, like oh, I'm here, but you gotta, I gotta let, just come in.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna answer this. I said I'm gonna show him. So I answered it, and I left the phone in my pocket. Oh, what happened? Was it what I said? I'm in the grocery store. So you don't get, you don't
I'm
get
on
to
the
see
toilet.
Right
That's what I'm gonna say. Next time somebody do me like that,
you don't get to see. And I tried that one time, and it was like, okay, but then the next time they still, and I'm like, okay. I think, I don't know what that is. Like the video calling, just not. That's what we are for. We are the best ones to vent. No apologies necessary. Love it.
Right.
I love it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
but
so there was another one that we talked about too, and that was another phone etiquette thing. That was like, and I don't know if this is just a personal thing for me or some people, but I just feel like business calls should absolutely not be, or business conversations like negotiating money, any type of negotiation with money, it should not be done via messages, whether it's voice messages or text messaging. I just think it's so corny when people want to talk about money and business, and it's like we got to go back and forth because it's so much like you can easily miscommunicate something
or ask you for money in a message.
Right, that makes no sense. It makes this much sense. You guys, come on. Come on, people.
Can I hold? And I'm like, really? Wow.
That is really crazy. It is really insane. Like I feel like there's like a disconnection. There's a disconnection. Not I feel. It is definitely a disconnection that humans have. When y'all hear about people talking about like living in the moment, that really means that you're like in tune with what's going on. So you're aware, you're more aware of what you're doing. You're asking yourself questions like, what am I doing? What does this feel like? Does this make, what I want this done to me? Like certain things like that. So I just think when there's certain interactions, and when I used to talk a lot about, like I used to have this matriarch group on Facebook, and it was like about women empowerment, just talking about motherhood and stuff. And I used to talk about women and how I always seen so many women having like deep conversations via messages, like I mean, like intense conversations. Like maybe they have a problem with their friend. I remember one sister had an issue with her daughter at daycare, and it was like her daughter getting hurt at daycare, and she had the whole interaction via messages to the daycare lady. And I was just like, man, like, you know, a lot of times we're so disconnected that we're running from who we really are. We're running from the conversation. We want to have business conversations via message because we're afraid to talk business. So it's like the messages are like easier. It's like you don't have to face, you know, you don't have to face the thing. Can you hear me good? Because it's cutting out like crazy.
I hear you. I hear you. It's the video is a little choppy, but I hear you fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that
I think that I agree. I think that I like the fact that we don't have to be traditional in the sense like back in the day, like there was all these rules. She gonna come back? She should. I like the fact that we don't have to be traditional and use all these, same rules. Like you have to have a cover letter and like, so I like that. But at the same time, I still think that there's certain conversations that need to be on, uh, like in person, certain conversations that need to be live on the phone, and certain conversations that can be, messages and texting and stuff like that. Oh, she said, I don't do it anymore. H. Blesso learned the hard way. Ace Blesso, but I want to know how you learned. You said you learned the hard way of video calling. What happened? Like somebody showed you their eggplant or something when you called them? Okay, I think she's coming. I think she's coming back. Yay, you're here.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Ooh, this internet is real bad.
What it was. I see you clear. I think it just like was a choppy moment, but
yo, that's crazy. It knocked me all the way out, and I could see you on my tablet, and then let me back in.
It's weird how that happens. But yeah.
Okay, let me try to put my phone in airplane mode for a second and go back out because it's being whack.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said something interesting. What did she say? Oh, Tanika was saying that I sometimes purposely make myself unavailable. Yes, I do that too. And the what's that thing called? In the WhatsApp, they have this archive thing that I never used before, but now I use the archive. I used to mute people, but then when you open WhatsApp, you still see the green. I don't want to see the green. That gives me heart palpitations. So I put it in the archive. So at least it take me 2 days to see it because I'm so like, I don't like to have nothing pending. I don't like to have nothing that I didn't accomplish on my list. So I have to get it done. Otherwise, my brain is gonna keep blah, 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 blah. So, and it drives me crazy. So I have to have my checklist that I did. I got back to everybody, or I'll feel bad. Like I don't ever want to be that person who just leave people unread. But the archive thing, I just started using it. Is the best, and I had to put boundaries up that I didn't have before, which it's easier if you already have the boundaries, but you don't know that you're gonna need more boundaries until you get a different level of stuff. And so it's like I was getting overwhelmed, and I'm like, how can I, you know, now I give my number out less, and I use the email first, and then see if we can communicate that way. It makes it a lot more, less. The sense of urgency that I feel is like kind of goes away, but. I don't know how
all that is an empath thing.
Yeah, I was saying before you went out or whatever that like there's certain things that we used to do that was like traditional, like you got to send a resume with a cover letter and do this, and you have to put it in the mail and stamp it with an envelope. Like I like the things change that they evolve, but I think that everybody has evolved in their own direction. Like there should still be a general consensus. Like if it's business, you email, or if it's, so like I had to let a couple of people know that I prefer to communicate by email if it's business related, even though they have my number, because I can't keep the stuff organized on my phone. It's just gonna be too much. Because phone for me is urgent. Phone for me is family, or I'm here physically in the country, or something
like
that
urgent
is
business.
immediate. Yeah, but otherwise, like if I can get to it in 24 hours, then emailing me will be better. Like at least then I have my mind right when I open it, because I know what to expect and what it's probably pertaining to. But if it's on my phone, my phone could be my kid's school calling me. My phone could be other stuff, and to have business mixed in with that, I don't like the clutter. I don't.
Yeah. And to a
Oh,
lot
H.
of
Bledsoe
people,
said,
like, this sounds extra, this sounds weird. That's why I said, the empath edition thing, because to a lot of people this doesn't make sense. But for some of us, it literally is draining, because there's some people that don't care about that. Like what you just explained about feeling like, okay, like, then I feel like I'm not getting it done. I feel like you kind of feel obligated. Some people are out here doing, business in day-to-day life, and that doesn't, they just like, whatever, who cares if I, don't get back, if I do, or whatever it is. But for us, it's just like, it's so hard to explain. But you, like, an empath is somebody that automatically, like, you're empathical. So you're already feeling, the other person. You're already feeling the other energy. So it's like trying to dismiss something. It's like, it's almost as if when people reach out, there's like a connection there that we can't see. So it's like, if we don't set our boundaries and put it in a certain place, like either letting them know, okay, I can't talk to you now, I can do that Friday, or not even opening the message right now because you know it'll be too much, or whatever it is. If we don't do that, it's like you feel like a part of you is being pulled. Like until you're done handling that, then you just feel incomplete or something.
I will write a 5-paragraph email at 12 o'clock at midnight, because I cannot go to sleep once I open it. Once I open it and know what they want, my mind will not stop. And so I have to get it done. Like, and so that, those types of things I guess it's, part of our personality traits. But it's I do make, there's, I think I follow my gut and my instinct. When I feel like, it's making me uncomfortable, then I just have to listen to that. But when I feel like I could do it, like Tanika, I had talked to her randomly. I called, but it was like a feeling that I had, like the person, like people they email and they send their number, and they'll say, call me if that's better for you. And sometimes I'll tell them, actually email is better. And then sometimes, depending on what is said and what the conversation is and my time, if I have the time and I feel it, I'll call. But like when I talked to, it was Tanika and her husband actually. And when I talked to them, it was actually long, and I had company here. And so it's like, I know myself, and I know that I can't stop somebody from talking long, and I can't stop myself from talking long if it's an important, like, thing.
If
I
you
gotta
into
give
it,
of myself. Yes. So it's not like I can't be short with people on a subject like this. You know what I mean? I can't just be like,
me either.
yeah, come to synagogue, it'll be cool, don't worry. Like I have to give you all
My
the good.
consultations be 3 hours. It's so bad.
So that's why we gotta kind of make sure we check in with each other and check ourselves, and like, listen, now I'll check her, like, does this sound right, this message I sent? Because I don't want to sound, cold or whatever, but at the same time, like, and I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, all these people calling me, but like, for me, it's more than what I'm used to. So I just want to pace myself and
Yes. Pace yourself. That's right. Yeah, man. It doesn't seem like it's a conversation that needs to be had, but it is. It's interacting. It's just like social media. Like we think, oh, it's just social media. No, that's a matrix. That's its own world. Like this phone interacting, text messaging, it's all matrix. It's all its own world.
I have family members that are muted in the archives, just for my own, like, health.
Right. That's real.
And
That's so
I
real.
mean, it doesn't mean I don't answer them ever. It just means that I'm not gonna feel that. it keeps me from feeling that sense of urgency and stress.
Yes.
That is automatically is in me, and I can wait day or two. And most of the time, it's only like it only gives me like 12 hours because I'll check it and then
right.
But 12 hours is better than like, right away. Like that's what I have to do to be like, okay, I'm gonna respond. But I'm gonna wait till nighttime. Then I'll respond. Like that's the most I got.
No, that's real. That's so true. Yeah, especially when you're talking about something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I thought the sound went out. I was about to say, what the hell?
Kawana said that we did a consultation and it went over and you felt bad. No, do not feel bad. It was a scheduled thing. I planned for it. I give myself extra time because I know myself.
Yeah.
It's not don't feel bad at all. That was all the plan. I know. When it's something expected, I know exactly what I'm doing. That's why I set it up in a way that based on my experience. So that's nothing that's nothing wrong to feel bad. Questions are good.
Right.
This is what we like doing. It just has to be in a way, Dayla has to have it in a way that works for her. I have to have it set up in a way that works for me. And now that I use Skype, that works better than the WhatsApp because the WhatsApp, everybody got your phone number and may not know. Everybody's boundaries are different. They may not know that you're not just talking to them and that it could be a little bit much because it wasn't much when we first moved here. I was lonely, but today's price, not yesterday's price.
Not yesterday.
It's a new day, so things change and things grow and and now we got this
I feel
stuff.
like one reason I feel like this conversation is important is because as we, Americans, we know that we don't really interact with each other that much. Probably out of most of the people, since we don't have that, that since we're on such a capitalist system in America, I think we have to like relearn some of how we interact with each other, and because we're doing that more as we come over here, whether it's y'all helping us or us helping y'all, because sometimes we need y'all's help too, just coming here and us being in a community or whatever. So that interaction, it really makes a difference. It really means a lot to be more aware.
Yeah, Trey has a suggestion about getting a second phone, and they're saying like for business, and I think that for if it's strictly business, I always give my husband's phone number out first because he always answers because he's Senegalese and that's what they do. Like they just stop what they're doing and answer. Even if you're in the middle of a conversation, I always thought that was rude, but everybody here does that, so it's not rude. So he will answer, and it's better because he speaks all the languages. So whoever calls and whatever needs to be done, if he has to talk to a taxi person or he can understand all the languages, so then it's no like third party whatever. But the thing is, people will have your number for different reasons. So if, for example, it could be business or it could start out as not business. For example, like somebody wants to connect with you, they're coming here next week on vacation and they want to and then let's say they have your number, so when they get to the airport, they come here. They come here, they have their vacation is over, they go back, and then they message you regarding business, which is for them it's just a question. But that question, for us, it could be business because it's considered like a consulting, or it has to do with something that we can help them with. But for them, it's just like, hey girl, by the way. And so you can't really be like, oh, call my other line, you know what I mean? And then when we're hanging out, call this line. Like it's kind of weird. So you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I definitely can't have two phones. I can't. My life
is more
is
stress.
I be doing too many things. I'm gonna lose the phone right away. I might as well give it away. Like it's gonna get lost on the first day.
I mean, I like the idea of having a phone that I don't have to answer and I can just look at it. Like I wouldn't answer it. I would just look and wait till they leave messages and stuff. But I mean, to me, it's like it would be the same as email. Like I just wouldn't answer it, and I
Yeah,
would just leave it at
right,
home. I would leave it at home, and I would see it when I decide to look at it. So I mean, yeah, it
right.
it could be that, but you can't really it's it's hard to differentiate because a lot of people that have our phone numbers for social reasons, and then it could change to business later, and that's a difficult thing to kind of change people. Like, okay, we was kicking it on
Yeah,
the beach the other day, but today you want to talk about land, so call
right.
this number. Don't but I will tell people sometimes, like, if you want to ask me those kind of questions, if you could email me, I can keep track of all your stuff, and that's kind of how I'll be like, I can keep track of everything, so I don't get it mixed up. I don't want to overlook
Mhm,
it or miss it or not be able to find it later. So those type of things.
mhm.
But yeah, but another phone, yeah, maybe. I
Yeah,
just use
maybe
my
not.
husband. But
You know, me and Trey were talking about the other day. I think this is a thing. Um, I don't know, because you probably wouldn't have this problem because you met Amadou, on your trip here. Maybe it's a single thing or something, but we were talking about basically, you guys don't come here and make the mistake of like giving everybody your number. Like I feel like not even on no like relationship thing. It's just like you come to a foreign place that you know is friendly and people are asking for your number. And when people ask for your number, it's not always because they like want to be with you either. Like sometimes they just want to be your friend and they just want to like know about your world and just hang and. So we were talking the other day because Trey because Trey, I be hearing Trey answer the phone all the time, and he be talking in French like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, who the heck? Who be like? Tell them, don't call you like. And he was like, I don't know what it is, but it's really hard for me not to give my number to people. And I was like, you know what? I went through the same thing when I first came here. Like a lot of people got my number that I would not give them my number today. I'll be like, no. But it's like when you first come to a place and you don't want to be rude and it's like maybe you can help me too. I don't really know if I might need you. So and you just end up giving your number to people, and it's just like you shouldn't do that.
yeah,
So
well, they be up in I'm married, but they still be up in my DMs.
right,
Somebody hit me yesterday and like in French, like, oh, I want to get to know you and some. So I sent them my YouTube, Instagram, and website. I was like, there you go, knock yourself out.
right.
And they came back with like, you can see I'm married on some of those things. And so they're like, oh, is your husband Senegalese? And I could be discreet and la 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 la. And I'm just like, what is it with like meeting people on social media? Like that is, I know there's online dating, but social media is not only for dating. So it's, Instagram, Facebook. But I think that's a Senegalese thing because a lot of dudes, like he was giving me his stats, and this is not the first time. Like it's happened.
That ain't no Senegalese. If that's a Senegalese thing, that's an Atlanta thing too.
Well, maybe okay. So maybe people here don't care if it looks like you're married or looks like you're in a
Oh,
situation, because my kid is in my profile
oh,
pic and one thing, and
right.
another, like you can tell people that you're married and they still, I think that people here say that they're married and they're not. Like that's part of the game. You know how people in the States will give their wrong number, they give their homegirl number, or they give a name. My name Keisha, and
Right.
whatever. So I think here, like one of the things that guys don't trust, like when a woman says she's married, a girl says she's married, and she may or may not be.
Oh yeah.
So, because even my
Right.
housekeeper, like she's not married, but anytime guys hit on her when she's on her way to work, she said, "I just tell them I'm married and keep going." So I think that's a thing that people do, and so people will
Right.
still pursue you anyway. So I'm like, I told you. The other dude, I told him, like, I'm like, it's just funny to me. So I'll be talking to people just to engage, and you don't know if they want to do business or not, or what they're interested in. So I'm like, okay, let me just whatever. But I'm like, this is probably that. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't, I'm looking for a friend. I don't have la la. And I'm just like, well, I have two husbands already, and they
Right.
just keep talking like I didn't say nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, Burner Boy and my husband would be very jealous. Like, this is
Right.
not gonna work, and you know.
I hope you're not saying
But
Burner Boy because they definitely know you playing it.
and then yesterday the other person hit me, and I was like, Emma, like, what is up with these dudes? Like, he still gave me his stats and everything. I didn't tell him I was married this time because I know people do that to chase
Yeah.
guys away. So I
Right.
just let him look on YouTube or whatever he found out, and he's asking like, "Oh, is your husband Senegalese?" And then, but then he's like, "I'm 37 and I can be discreet. I'm old enough to like whatever." And I'm just like,
He's just signing up to
"Is
be the
this how?"
side dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, but my thing is this. I told this other dude, I'm like, he's like, I want to be your friend. The other dude was like, I want to be your friend. I'm like, I don't make friends with people I don't know. I don't have time like that. You know, if I don't
Yeah.
see you, how do I know you want to be? I said,
Exactly.
and I asked him, I'm like, why do y'all? I said, why does it seem like here in Senegal people do that? Like they want to meet people that they haven't seen in person. I'm like, isn't that weird? Like I said, I used to do that back in the early 2000s, and people never looked how they or their energy was never.
Right.
So I'm like, I would figure this would be played out by now. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
But like you said, some people miss certain things. I think when you grow up in different times and your exposure, like you're given the opportunity, not the opportunity, you're given a out, like a chance to not develop in a certain area. So you don't develop your conversation skills, you don't develop your nonverbal in person.
Right.
So like I'm like people, like when Black Planet came out and stuff, people used to be talking a whole bunch of stuff, and then you see them in person and they don't know how to do nothing. But
That's real.
like somebody could be like all your little stats 6'5" and this and that, and then you see them and they like got the lowest self-confidence, their
Yep.
nails is dirty or whatever. And so I'm like shit. I'm like, especially because for me, like men are visual from what I'm told. So I'm like, don't you want to see like it, like people we got makeup and weaves and stuff, like don't you want to see what you're going after before you go after it?
Right.
But
Catfishing is still very real.
yeah,
But people don't care, man. We're such like how crazy it is, like especially in the dating world. Like it is so unrealistic the way that people date. Like to date someone, not to say this never happens, because it is okay, wait, let me be careful with my words. It is very possible, not necessarily common, but it is possible for you to meet someone and for y'all to date for just a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, and then y'all just go off and be together and do y'all relationship and stuff. But the way that the majority of us go about connecting is it starts a lot of times, like you just said, we don't really know each other through social media. We just talk for a couple of weeks, and then we just really people like really be like, especially women, like we will form our whole future with a guy after like 3 weeks, after just 4 weeks of knowing them. So I think it's the same thing with the social media interaction when it comes to that. It's just unrealistic. Like maybe social media, the pictures and the videos, it kind of like gives us an illusion that we already know the person. So we just run with it. Yeah, it's really unrealistic. It was a few things
yeah,
that
I
were
think.
said that I wanted to highlight.
Oh, the comments we can go through and see those.
Oh, I was wanting to say how she said
Yes.
she has 20 employees and they call her. Oh my God, I gotta
Yeah.
mentally get ready for that. I could just imagine.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Do you
Okay.
suggest spending more? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you suggest spending more than a month in Senegal before deciding to move and building, or is a month sufficient enough? For me, I feel like it just depends on who you are if you have to visit at all.
Yes.
Some people are moving to visit, and then some people, it depends on just where you are. Like what's your reason for? Oh my God, you can see me.
Yeah. Keep talking. I hear you.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it depends on your why, like your why for leaving. And because to me, like I get this question a lot, how people don't really know like which country to move to. Like a lot of us know that we want to go to Africa, but don't know which country. And I feel like if you on that, like I got to get out of here before the end of the year or before next year kind of thing, you honestly can move to a place that feels really comfortable to you, where you feel like you got some support there, where you feel like you might be able to maintain there. And then you can worry about what other country, like if you don't want to be there, you can worry about that later, like after you get there type thing. But it just kind of, I just don't think that everybody has to visit a place before they necessarily move to a place. It just depends on you. What do you say?
So I agree. But you guys should know that Dayla is not human. She is an extraterrestrial special person. Not everybody can do what she did. She is very gangster. Um, and I think
Okay.
that
That might
she
be true.
has she has mind powers and manifesting powers that you guys like. I see it happen so many times. She can speak something and make it happen. So, that might not be everybody. But I would say this. There are people who come here for 5 days and decide they want to move here. And there are people who have been to other African countries and they find out that's not where they want to move, and then as soon as they get to
Yeah.
another place, they know the difference, but like what this place, like this is where I'm supposed to be. It could be a spiritual thing for some people.
Yeah.
My cousin was here for a short period of time, and she already making moves. Like, her whole life is like, but it depends on the experience that you have. So in a month,
Yeah.
you may have an experience that tells you that you can move, and you may not. And it may
Yeah.
be just a logical decision that you just decide to make and do it. But it
Yeah.
just depends. So like the lady that's staying with us today, like right now, um, I want to say she's already cried 4 times since she's been here,
Wow.
and she's been here for 2 3 days, two
Yeah.
days. And so,
You mean
it
like
just
crying,
depends.
like breakdown, like I'm like why did I do this crying, or like emotional, like
No,
this
no,
is
no,
so
no,
deep.
no, no. This it's just the emotional. Like, she's been touched by stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Right.
know. And for her, she feels like she been here before, and then it's like then she have moments where it's weird, she feel like a foreigner, and she's like, if I was in Paris or Germany or wherever, I don't care if I feel like a foreigner there, but like here it like emotionally affected her, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So
Yeah.
it's everybody's different, but Daylight is very gangster, and she is she's a goat because I don't think that I could do what she has done in the time that she's done it. I've been coming here for years, and I feel like just I don't know what you studied about Senegal or whatever it is. She listened to whatever she was supposed to listen to in her to do what she's supposed to do, and that's
Right
why
here. I
things
don't even know what it is. Yeah.
and that's why things for her, not that they're perfectly smooth or anything, they're not for
Right.
anybody, but that's why she's able to persevere, I feel. So you got to follow your gut. Nobody can tell you, but you can try. You can come for a month, try it out and see, and then when you feel what you're supposed to feel or you
Yeah.
see what you're supposed to see, and then you make your decision. But a month is a good chunk of time. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's better than nothing. I know people who come here for 4 days and then they come back buying land and stuff. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
it can happen.
Yeah, yeah, and even if you're able to plan for a couple weeks and then maybe you don't stay that long or maybe you stay longer, that's even better because you just never know. Just like you
Mm-hmm.
said, like somebody will come here for like your cousin. She really wasn't just like, yeah, I'm about to just come and just buy land, and she came and now she done got 2 more tickets to come and she not playing. Like
Yeah.
she ready.
Yeah. it's amazing. Like it just something happened. I had to ask her when she was leaving. Like I'm like, what is it? Like what happened to you? Like 'cause I didn't know that was gonna happen. I was just trying to make sure you wasn't too hot and the flies and the And she's just like, I'll figure that out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yes,
what's
it's
the plan?
so
Like,
beautiful. It is so powerful to see that. I feel like when you said like the sister there is feeling like she's been here before. I can't wait to do my video on that because that most definitely, like, I was having outer body experiences. Like I was having deja vu. My first week of being here was really freaking me out because I was like, I feel like I've been on the street before. I feel like I did this before. Like you really do have some of those moments, if you can be in tune enough and you'll just be like, oh my God, this is so deep. This is so crazy. It's real.
Yeah, I told y'all. I don't know. Yeah, I told y'all before about the family that came just to kick you here for a weekend, and that was the Juneteenth party.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just spoke to them the other day, and they
Oh
plan
really?
they plan to come back, and
They
they
still
were supposed
coming?
to go
That's
to
what's up.
yeah, they
They're
were supposed
cool.
to go to Gambia, and they was trying to make it work and figure it out, go back visit a second time, and but like something what I mean, and that you can't force that. We can't force
No.
that. Everybody's experience is their experience. So
Yeah, that's it. And whatever you feel like, that's why I tell people go within. Just like I'm probably the wrong person to ask if you should visit because I'm probably gonna say no because I didn't. But or I'm gonna say what I just said because of how I came. But I also feel the same way about what you feel. Like these 8 years before I got here, how confident I was. How I mean, I'm talking about I didn't speak to my mom for a whole year. My father was upset with me. I went through so much. Me going through my divorce, like everything. There was not one time that I kept my eyes off of moving here because what I felt on the inside. Like when people ask me, I'm like, I can't, all I can tell you is that I always knew that I had to come here. And there's something that's inside of you that will tell you that, like when you ask yourself stuff like, if I don't make it, like what will I feel? Like will I feel like I failed? Will I be depressed? Like stuff like that is like nobody can tell you about this. This is just something that you either know or you don't know. You might need
yeah,
somebody to help direct you. But if you feel it inside of you, you need to accept that feeling and go with that feeling so that you can
yep.
make your moves and go.
Trust yourself. There are two
Trust
decisions that I
yourself.
can think of in my life, two major decisions that I made
Mm-hmm.
that my life has been better than I even expected after making these decisions. The first one that I
Mm.
think of is marrying who I married, and
Yeah.
the that was
Oh.
something that on paper you would be like, don't speak the same language, you got different
Yeah.
belief systems, you got different they in a country, you in another country, you got to go through all this and all this, but like the
Right.
blessings that have come from that, like the confidence that I had was kind of weird because it wasn't like I know it's gonna work out and be perfect, but it was just like I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And all the people that
Yeah.
might have been a little bit wary, even though they were supportive, it's like my life, I've been blessed, I've grown, I've been exposed to stuff. I've so I knew and I followed what I believe, God wanted me to do, period. And just
Mm-hmm.
not blindly, but you know what I mean? Like without doubting it and without that fear clouding it.
Yeah.
And moving here, quitting my job and moving here, my life is I can look back on my videos from 2 years ago and what I wanted to happen. This is beyond my dreams of
Wow.
what I wanted to happen because I didn't think I would have as many. Like I thought two of my friends would come have a vacation house here, and that's it. But like 25 people done bought land over here and want to be my
Right.
neighbor, and like it's just like I didn't think we was gonna have a show. I didn't think I was still gonna be doing YouTube. Like
Right.
we got a mansion, like that was a dream, but it's like you don't know how good things are gonna go, but it's like people thought we was crazy. Like the family over here didn't know what we were thinking. Like, are we okay? Like, why are you guys leaving your jobs? But this was something that we had no doubt about for whatever reason, and it's because the Spirit told us to do it. And so you just gotta follow your inner voice, this Holy Spirit, the inner whatever it is. Follow that, your subconscious, whatever it is that tell you what you gotta do, and do what that is. Whatever country that is, whatever place that is, whatever decision that is.
Yeah.
Because that's what Daylight, I believe that's what Daylight did, and like just have to follow, it's no logical explanation for stuff sometimes.
No, it's not. And the thing is that, like, there's people, like, that's why I say don't try to focus on like moving to all these different countries and visiting all these different places. Your first country might not be the country that you end up. For some people it will, and for some people it won't. But you're not trusting yourself when you're trying to visit every country before moving. You can visit 4 countries and still not know where the hell you want to live because you just visited. You didn't actually live there, so that trusting self, oh my God, I could write a book on it. Like, it's the best thing you could ever do for yourself. Trust yourself, trust the process. You can't be, don't move in fear. Just know, like, even the way for our tribe members that come and watch this show most Sundays, or as much as you can, if you're doing it every Sunday, like, even that right, you're doing it because you're feeling it. You're feeling like, I need to go, or I'm about to go. I can feel it. It's getting closer. Like, you're already feeling, like, it's already inside of you. You just have to really go forward with that. Don't get too logical, like, don't like I always talk about how plans are meant to change. They're meant to not be what they what you planned them. So it don't mean that you're not going to get to your end goal, because you'll still get there. Set the goals. And that's kind of like what you just described in your dreams. It's like you did get what you wanted, but even more than what you imagined. So yeah, it's the exact same thing. And I had to remind myself of this, because I feel like the way that we came over here was so, like, interesting. Like, it was so, like, even though it was really beautiful and I learned a whole bunch and my life is really interesting now, that I would be doing a disservice if I didn't write a book about, this journey here. But it also was very intense for me. It also was like a lot of things, like, how, like, like, sometimes you might experience something or go through something and you don't really realize how deep or how crazy it is until you're explaining it to someone. Like, when you're telling it to somebody, and then they'll be like, yo, like, that's crazy what you just said. Like, so I've been having a lot of those moments lately. And even it's kind of weird going back to me launching my business with this cheese. After I put it out there, I kind of felt like some nervousness, and I was like surprised because I already have businesses. I already put myself out there in so many things, but I never did it with a product. Like, normally, like, my business is my service, it's me doing my doula work, life coaching, yoga. I've never actually made a product that people are going to put in their homes, put in their bodies, so it kind of made me like, I'm like, oh shoot, like, am I tripping? Like, what did I just do? Like, this is kind of crazy, like, and I just had this epiphany, like, girl, like, you literally knew, you trusted yourself for all those years, and you made every move possible to get to, to get closer to Senegal. And then after all that craziness in New York, you got here. And then after getting here, so I had to have this moment to remember, like, what other people think when I'm telling this story, So we kind of do that to ourselves. Like, we kind of sleep on ourselves and not really trust,
This is so true, because every time I tell people how me and Amadou met, that's when I remember, like, dude, that was crazy. Like, you just met a dude for 2 weeks, and then you brought him to your country, and then you married him, and then it was like, y'all, you learned each other's language. Like, it was like crazy. Y'all was dancing in a club, and then boom. And so
all these years later.
Yeah, and when you tell it, like, you're right. When you tell it, that's when you hear yourself telling, like, dang, if I wasn't me, I would think that was like, whoa, like,
Right. I
Like,
mean,
who does
I
that?
really said back the other when I met that sister at the camp and she was asking me questions and her reaction, I was like, oh, I guess I am a little crazy then. Like, I guess maybe I am a little crazy. I guess
You
what
are a
I
little
did was
gangster.
kind of crazy. Yeah, and I forget that like until I'm going through something that's really hard, even me giving birth without pain, like that's something I forget. Even though I'm teaching women to do that, I forget even that. I'm like, oh, I teach women how to give birth without. It's like it's such a natural human response for us to just like sleep on ourselves or our story or what we've
Doubt her.
overcome.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Downplay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to really sit with myself today. Like, girl, you need to stop playing with yourself. Like,
stop it. That's
yes.
why I be like, you don't plug your stuff, I'm gonna be plugging all your stuff.
I know. And I love you for that, sis. You always Aisha is like the dopest friend. Like you like one thing I love about our sisterhood is that like there's no hesitation of like you know, encouraging each other. Like you always remind me what I do great. You know, I have no problem telling you like where you know, like where I benefit from you know, from our friendship for. And that's not, you know, you don't get that all the time.
We cheerleader each other, and I learned that from you, because I've never, I
Really?
don't think, you know, and I have you know, female friends that support me and stuff, but it's just not on the same level. And you know, it may not be like the things that I'm doing may not interest them, you know, it could just be that. But I think that you know, with us, like most friends, like any type of friendship, you want the friendship to elevate you and help you grow as a person. And so whenever I'm friends with someone who helps me grow, it's just like I feel like I reach another level of being able to
Yes.
be a friend, like because of our friendship, if that makes sense, what I just said.
That is
But
so true. That's so real.
but yeah, yeah.
Man.
So
See, I
so
love that.
I love how we met, and it was crazy, and I was like, I don't know what this girl moving to Africa for, but you know, you like you're amazing, and then it's just like wow, and then we just being all of each other's like stuff, and so yeah,
Yes.
it's been cool. But like everything you do, like to me, why I associate with you is because there's things in my life that I want to do better or want to aspire, want to change and grow. And so you've exposed me to a lot of that stuff. I wasn't using no kind of essential oil diffusers before I met you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and those things, that exposure, I'm learning, it encouraged me to learn more about my health and like all this stuff. So like
Yeah.
you're little genius
I'm cool.
Renaissance
I'm
woman over
cool.
there. Yeah, you pretty cool. So yeah,
Thank you, sis. Yeah,
this has been
even our
amazing.
story is crazy because
We had a show.
you said what?
I never would have thought that from how we met we would be doing this, you know.
No, like y'all don't even know. Like I hit Aisha up on YouTube. Like I was like a few weeks away from coming here. I think I had just bought our tickets. So I was like, okay, let me do this again. Let me go sweep the internet. Cause you know, all of the years I have to re-sweep the internet. When I first found out about Senegal, it was no videos on Senegal. Like it was like a white family and that was it. So I was like, okay, let me go and sweep the internet again and see who done probably came up, you know, with Senegal. And I found her and it was so divine. Oh my God, it was so divine because you're the one that told me about Little Senegal, which was just like 20 minutes away from where we were stuck at in the Bronx. And that was a game changer for me. Like, and I just reached out to her, like, hey, like, girl, we about to move, like me and my 4 kids.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. I remember we were talking on the phone. I was with Amadou and we was driving to the place where we was gonna ship our stuff. At the same time, you was telling me what you was doing, and you had like all this stuff happen. And I was like, dang, that's like a lot of unfortunate circumstances. I'm like, that sounds like, to me, I was thinking it sounded like maybe this ain't the right, you know what I mean? but you made
this
it
ain't the right
out.
time for her or something.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. It seemed like you got a lot of challenges and your obstacles in your way. And then you made it before I did. And I was like, wow, she did it. Like, she's there. Like, you know. And then and I was like, cool, we got kids. I got a kid, you got kids. We're gonna, and then look at
right. That's
Juneteenth
crazy.
parties and pool parties and birthday parties.
Not
They're
tea
all up
parties.
and through.
Right. That's crazy. It's all crazy, man. It's just like, that's why there's no need to fear, because what is for you, and even this show, me and I used to talk about it like once a week because we just be shocked ourselves. So, but this show is a good example of that. What's for you is really for you. Like things that, like, you don't have to force it. And speaking of, like, the word force makes me think about like where I was in some of those moments on my way here. There were things like me telling you my story back then and you being like, whoa, like maybe this ain't the right time. And, of course, I did it, I made it, but of course I had those moments. I had those days where I was like, oh shit, like, am I forcing this? Like, am I tripping right now? Did I make myself believe that I'm supposed to move to Africa and be in Senegal and I'm really just flipping out and just like, like, I'm telling you, I threw my weed in the toilet one time because I was like, I think I'm tripping. I think I'm not supposed to be like, I was like,
not
I gotta
the
stop
toilet.
all. I was like, I'm throwing this in the trash because I think I'm flipping out. I really decided to move to Africa, and here we are. That was probably like 2 nights before it was time for us to get on the plane. And I started having all these doubts. I was like, oh my God, I might be crazy. Like, I'm really thinking about doing this. I have no idea what's going to happen to us. And I actually ended up speaking to one of my friends. I don't even remember which friend it was, but I remember calling somebody and just being like, am I forcing this? Like, I don't really know if I know what I'm doing anymore. And she just had to like bring me back. Like, no, like there's no way you're forcing this. Like, look at how much you put in. Like, you just have to keep going. So it's just like what's for you is you're gonna get it. It's for you, and you know when it's for you. Even if you have doubts, even if you feel that fear sometimes, get out of it and keep going.
I'm looking at this question that you highlighted.
What? Oh yeah.
From the ATL. Daylight used to live in the ATL.
Charlie Dixon.
Well, my husband is from Senegal, so that's why Senegal chose me.
Right. And for me, it's pretty much what we just talked about. I have no idea. I just, it's just something I felt.
Didn't you say you had a dream, or you felt like you had a dream or something?
No, I never had a dream. Like, I knew that I was supposed to leave the country, like just things that I was reading. I mean, if we getting real deep, it was me reading some of the Bible. It was me reading some of Paul, and Paul talking about a lot of the crazy things that were going to happen, and me just connecting the dots of Babylon, America being Babylon.
Yeah.
So that's really what sparked the idea of like, okay, I need to really leave the country. And then I looked at Ghana. I felt like Ghana was not my style. I wanted something that was really foreign. And then I have no clue. Like, Senegal just stuck out. I never heard of Senegal. I never knew anyone here. But I know that after something told me, like, Senegal is where you're supposed to go, I remember everything about Senegal coming in my face. Like, I did my big chop like a few days after I decided to move to Senegal. I chopped off all my hair and, all my permed hair. And the lady who, I tried to cover it up after that. That's a whole nother conversation. But I tried to cover up my big chop. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I'm so ugly. This is horrible. And so I tried to cover it up. And the lady that I went to the salon to get my hair braided, it was a Senegalese salon. And so she started telling me about Senegal. And it was like every week, every month after that, for the entire 8 years, I would always run into like Senegalese restaurants, Senegalese people. So, it just further confirmed, like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. I just went. And travel agency. Hell no. No, I'm just playing. I would not I wouldn't I never thought about doing a travel agency. I want to travel. If you mean agency by me being the traveler, then yes. But me setting up other people's travel, no, no.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
Yes.
But I will connect you with a driver, taxi, bus, whatever
Yes.
you want to do. But yeah.
Yes. You
But
know what?
I'm not there.
I wanted to say that too, to the one conversation that we just had about, I think it was Tanika when she asked about the duration of coming here. So far, the women that I've helped move here, was just so happened to be 4 single women. They came here without visiting, like no visiting. They just was like, we got to get out. We tired of it. So just to throw that out there, people really are coming here and not doing any visiting. People are coming here on the state of emergency type situation. And because I don't think that we know that. I think that every time we see YouTubers or anybody come, we just think that everybody, visited and planned and stuff like that. But a lot of people are really just coming on a whim and loving it.
Quick question: those four women, like, are these people who have income or like retirement or virtual, like remote jobs?
That's a good question. 2 of them do and 2 of them don't. So 2 of them are working from the States and 2 of them are not. 2 of them did not come here working. They just making it work. One of them just started, like one of them does like hair, and so she's doing hair and stuff. And
That's
yeah, that's another thing.
encouraging.
Yeah, it
That's
really is.
encouraging to know, because I was wondering, I was like, if everybody has income coming from the States, that at least eliminates one kind of issue that you challenge. But it's nice to know that the other two are doing that. So that means it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, we
Yep.
like 2 hours and some
Okay, y'all.
change.
Okay, y'all, we gotta go. Hold on, wait. Let me see. What does it say? Dogs do not always work and break-ins are global in Africa. What are we talking about here?
Hi, lady. Where is that?
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't read the other comments.
Where you said dogs? What are you talking about, dogs?
The first one says, "How do y'all deal with potential robberies? I see so many people experiencing break-ins and robberies, even with gate men. Do someone have
the
to
gate
be
men be the ones doing the robbing?
right? Do
Look
someone
at our
have to
last
be?"
video.
Yes, that's right. I was going to say that. So no, someone doesn't always have to be home. We're not always home, and I trust the men that watch our home, and I haven't had any issues so far. But of course, it happens everywhere. In our last show, we went into complete detail, and we even have the timestamps, don't we? Do we have a timestamp for that?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. It's about theft, and we talk about theft, and we talk about housekeeping. For me, having someone at my house at all times kind of actually works, because my house is kind of like standalone at the moment. So probably in the next 2 years, that won't be necessary, because I'll have next door neighbors and stuff, people that we have the same. We look out for each other or whatever. But when you live kind of isolated, like dogs can work. It just depends. Like, you got to know who your surroundings. So every neighborhood, you got to know what the tendencies are. If you live in an area where it's a lot of expat people, then that might be a target area, because of the types of things that expats have might be valuable, electronics and things like that from abroad or whatever. But there's ways to do it. We talked about it in the last video in a lot of detail, so I think you'll enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and there's timestamps in the description. There's timestamps, so you'll be able to go straight to that subject. And yeah, it is a thing.
And
even for me, I don't want to move. Like, as much as we were thinking about leaving, like, I'm so caught in between, because I wanted to go more to like Mermoz area, a little further from Almaty, to get like more of the paved roads and stuff. But Yof is a lot of times, like, especially in my area, it's just a lot more community. Like, the car is the car, so you're not going to get like the village setting. But being in Yof, where it's like more sandy or dirt, like you get more community. Like we're kind of away from all the traffic and stuff. So I like that, everybody knows what's going on. And whenever we do hear about the robberies that happen, it's more in, like what you said, in the tourist areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are residences where people, live, and where there's security, and the security know your every move. So, but we talk about it. We talk about it all in the last video.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely get all your answers from there. But that's a great question, because yeah, dogs here are a major deterrent, just because a lot of people are afraid of dogs more so than
Yeah.
in the States. But yeah, but they have to be dogs that aren't socialized with people. Like, they can't be the friendly dogs that play with everybody, because
Right.
then
The
that's
ones
what they'll
that
do
Senegalese people be
when
having
people come
some
up.
nice dogs that don't want to harm you at all. So it be there. Yeah, you gotta have them ferocious ones. And also, okay, in order to say this, I have to say this first. Whenever, not saying that, because I don't know, maybe there are some robberies where people are being harmed. I'm almost would like to say I'm sure that was happening somewhere, but the
Yeah.
ones that we hear about, there is no one that is being physically harmed. They are literally grabbing the things and getting them. But on some no cap shit, let me just say, on some no capness, okay? I have seen where they will, like, one of my homegirls, she calls them ninjas. Because they be doing some incredible, they be having some good little techniques. And sometimes when it comes to the dogs, they will give the dogs, I think it's called lion oil. And the lion oil will, like, scare the dog. Like, they'll put the oil out or whatever, and the dogs are like scared of it, maybe because they're scared of lions, something, I don't know. But the dog will not make a sound. It will make the dog just be silent, so that they can, get the thing. I don't think this is something that everybody's using and passing around, but that is something that exists. And it's not funny, okay? So this is not funny, but some things that are negative, you can also find laughter in it. One of my homegirls got robbed, and we, even though it was scary for her, we also found laughter in it. So let me be clear on that. But the one
I
that we
see
heard
somebody.
about,
I seen somebody get robbed in Sammy. They had their headphones on and was listening to music on their cell phone, and somebody took their cell phone. And so when the music stopped, it was a white girl. She turned around, she got the phone right back and kept pushing. Like, it was like, "Hey, give me my phone."
that's
And
how it be.
yeah.
Exactly.
So, but
It be so different.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so different from what we picture as a robbery. Just like my homeboy, I told that story about my homeboy that got robbed out here, and he was like, it was kind of romantic. Like, he was like, it was kind of weird. Like, he even gave the dude some money after the robbery, because he was like, here, bro. Like, but on one of them, we heard about someone that they didn't come into the house, but they used like a hook to, like, grab, to grab the purse. That's, it's kind of funny because it sounds like a cartoon. It's like, dang. But the reason why I can find laughter in it is because I'm used to robberies when they shooting you in the face and killing the kids and tying you up. I have friends that have literally been tied up during their robbery and raped and stuff from America. So since we know that we can't stop it, since we know it's everywhere, to me, being in an environment where you come in, like, if you're gonna rob me, then get what you want and leave, like that kind of thing. You're not gonna be able to stop it. We can't control it. So I just feel like that is, like, better than nothing. That's my take. But
yeah.
So
I think when it comes to robberies in the States, the thing that people are most afraid of is the violence. Like, nobody want to get hurt. And even though it does happen that people sometimes do get hurt. I think I heard of one case where there was somebody who did lose their life, or their son lost their life, and it was like a house thing. But I don't know if they were fighting back or what happened. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was, but they were from, like, either they were from the States and moved back, but they're Senegalese or something like that. But somebody's teenage son, it was like either a tussle or something or other. I don't know. I don't remember the weapon that was involved, but so that does happen and when it does happen, it's kind of like national news. So it's like not something that happens often, but it can happen. But like the person said that there was a cop, a retired police officer, dogs aren't present when they take their reports. And we got dogs in the States because we almost got broken into, and it was in the middle of the night. Like they was casing our house at 2 a.m, knocking on the door and to see if we answer. And they could have broken in while we were sleeping. For me, the scariest thing is because of the violence level in the States. But like here, I've heard of people getting robbed while they sleeping, but nobody do anything to the people. They just take the thing and leave. Yeah, like
literally.
But yeah, so my friend got her Alexa stolen and didn't know until the next morning. She woke up, went to take the kids to soccer, came back, and they was like, Alexa, play this song. And then Alexa didn't say nothing. They were like, Alexa, play the song. Where you at? And then Alexa didn't play, and Alexa was gone. Like, so they took Alexa. Right. But like, people will take things that they could sell, and they will take, if they know what you have, because they see you out in the street with it, or they've been in your house or whatever. But usually the danger is like not really that common.
Right. Yeah, but definitely check out our last episode for more details.
Yeah, I think you'll like that.
Oh, wow. And then also, even when it comes to gun laws, some people ask about that in this. You said what's this?
I said this is the longest episode we've ever done.
I know. We almost on 3. We about to go, y'all. We about to go in a second.
What'd you say?
But I wanted to say too, since we're talking about robbery, protection, all that. To get a gun, at least here in Dakar, I would think it's the same for the whole Senegal. It's not hard. Like they do have gun ranges. Well, they have a gun range. I don't know about multiple ones, but I know about one in particular, and I know that you can get a gun the same process. Like they do a background check, African background check. So if you've been, then you probably know what that means. So it just means that just like with getting your residency or anything, sometimes it's who you know type thing. But if you don't have no issues on your record, then you're good. And the guns are really affordable too. So it's not necessary like it's necessary in the States. It's mandatory. You need to not be strapped there. So but just if you're somebody that feels like you need that or you want that and you're trying to move to Senegal, then you can be armed very easily here.
Or you can just get one of them big old machete knives that they use to butcher the sheep. You just put it under your pillow at night,
Yeah. Yep. I'll be strapped with my machete and my taser and all that. Okay, guys. Well,
this is a great episode.
Show. Yes.
It's bedtime now.
Right. It's 1 a.m. over here. Look at this dedication.
Yes. Yes. My husband looking at me like when we turn the lights out. We're like, come on.
Sorry, Amadou. Okay, so plugs that we always forget. Don't forget the super chat, guys.
Yes.
Don't forget the interview tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a sister that we interviewed. You guys are going to love this interview. The premiere is already up, so you can go straight to it and push the reminder. You can watch it with us tomorrow. What is it, like 9:30 or something like that?
9:30 here, our time, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so just hit the reminder on that. And then what else?
And then buy your cheese nut. If you in the area,
get your cheese. Buy my cheese, please.
Yes.
Yes, if you're in the area, you can support by purchasing some cheese nut. And you can also support by any proceeds that you want to give to my business. They will go to purchasing the cashews and all the other ingredients, my nutritional yeast I have to ship from the States, all that good stuff. You can send me some nutritional yeast if you want to. In any way, I'm open for all assistance, okay?
We both do consultations individually and together. If you would like, you can put an email right there so they can see it on the screen. And you can also any inquiries, feel free to email us, for whatever it is.
Yes.
And we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you in a jiffy because it's not a phone call.
And we are really prompt. We are really prompt and professional.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yes.
And we got merch on Teespring. We're gonna get better merch. Like we're probably gonna work out something else later, but for the time being, this is what we got.
Yes, it will be in the description below.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys.
All
so
right.
y'all know how we do it here on Repat No Cap.
Repat No Cap. The migration will not be televised.
It'll be on YouTube.
We love y'all.
All right, we love you guys.
Adios. Poor righteous preacher, email us. Los quiero mucho.
Email. All right. Awe po, sikanam.
Ciao, ciao.